coming at you, and welcome to Last Reps Baseball. Tonight should be an exciting matchup between two Japanese powerhouse baseball teams. I hope you all enjoy this and treat Freddie with all the respect he deserves. Call a good game, Freddie, and who knows, someday you may even see me in one of these games. And if you don't, you might want to come check out my channel and see what I do. You know what? But hey, let's get back to Freddie. Let's get some baseball. Let's just have a great game.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Reps Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. And tonight we are going to bring to you the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks from Tohoku. This is as big a game as it's going to get for the Golden Eagles, as they are currently in fourth place in the Pacific League, and they are chasing the visitors from Fukuoka for the final playoff spot. It is the sand in the hourglass is starting to run out for both of these ball clubs as they are trying to make their way into the Pacific League playoffs here tonight. And this game here is going to help the cause for one or of these teams to either gain some separation for the Hawks or to gain ground if you're the Golden Eagles. Well, first of all, we are going to give you the lineups for the visitors from Fukuoka. Leading off and playing second base is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Batting second and playing shortstop, wearing 00, is Hikaru Kawase. Batting third and right field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting tonight is Kensuke Kondo. He wears number 3. Batting in the 5 spot and playing center field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Batting 6th and playing first base is number 55, Nomura. Batting 7th and in left field is number 33, Shuma Suda. Batting 8th and doing the catching is number 19, Takuya Kai. Batting 9th at third base tonight is number 99, Isami Nomura. And that is your starting lineup for the Hawks. And they're going to be facing Takahiro Norimoto, who takes to the hill with a 7-6 record. He's worked 129 innings this year. He's given up 117 hits. He's allowed 49 runs, only 39 of which have been earned. He's walked 40 and struck out 86, and he's got an earned run average of 2.72. Well, that's your starting lineup for Fukuoka. Now the starting lineup for the home team from Tohoku. Leading off and playing third base tonight, wearing number 0, is Hirota Kobakata. Batting second and at shortstop is number 66, Tsuki Muribayashi. Batting in the 3 spot, doing the designated hitting, is number 35, Hiroki Shimochi. Batting fourth and playing second base is number 3, Hideto Asamura. Batting 5th in left field is number 27, Takiro Okajima. Batting 6th in right field is number 51, Yuya Ogo. Batting in the 7th spot and in center field is number 8, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Batting 8th at first base tonight is number 7, the veteran Daichi Suzuki. He gets the start over Toshiki Abe, who had a rough ball game last night in the field. Batting ninth, the catcher, is number 2, Hikaru Oda. They are going to be facing Carter Stewart Jr. The American is making another start here for the Hawks. He's got a 3-5 record on the year. 59 and a third innings pitched, 57 hits, 24 runs, 22 of which have been earned. He's walked 36, he's struck out 50, and he's got an earned run average of 3.34. Well, those are your starting lineups. Norimoto's on the hill getting his warm-ups taken care of. We'll be ready to bring this one to you in just about 30 seconds' time. Appreciate you guys for being with us. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Norimoto has completed his warm-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway as he will be facing the top of the order in Yukio Shudo. It'll be Shudo, Kawase, and Yanagita to come to bat here. He faced the right-hander in the first inning. The first pitch of the ball game is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded right back to the pitcher. Norimoto fields it. He fires to first, and when one pitch, there is one away. It's a ground out 1-3 to start the ball game. And that will bring up the shortstop, Hikaru Kawase. Well, for Kawase on the season, he's batting .203. He's got no homers and 11 runs batted in. He's getting the start tonight at shortstop over Kenta Imamiya, who is getting the night off in this one. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Norimoto, who delivers a first pitch fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. We're going to try to do both of the games in this 2-game mini-series tonight and tomorrow night, so hopefully you can join us for both of them. There's a fastball delivered for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kawase. Norimoto wastes little time. He gets the ball, and he's ready to go back to work. He delivers a breaking ball that's swung on. It's going to be lifted into the seats foul down the third baseline, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's a little bit different looking lineup tonight for the Hawks as we looked at the lineup. Shudo is playing second, so no Masaki Momori, no Kenta Imamiya in the middle of the infield. It's a bit of an eyebrow raiser, especially in a game that means so much for both teams. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Kawase stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 2. So he goes into the books, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita tonight, he's a regular in the lineup who we expect to see. He's batting .300 on the year with 20 homers and 76 runs batted in. Stands in on the left side against the right-handed throwing Norimoto, who rocks into the windup and delivers the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. Defensively tonight for the Golden Eagles from left to right field, Okajima's in left, Tatsumi in center, and Ogo in right. Around the horn from first to third, it's Suzuki at first. Asamura is at second. Shortstop is Murray Biashi, and the third baseman Kobakata with the battery of Norimoto and Oda. As that breaking ball is swung on and also tap foul on the first base side, and the count is 0-2 to Yanagita. So a steady diet of breaking balls here for the Hawks right fielder. Here in his first at bat, here comes the 0-2 pitch. Norimoto rocks into the windup and delivers. And that is a split finger pitch, misses down in the dirt. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yanagita. The Golden Eagles are wearing the maroon tops that have the sort of blends in with black and white pants tonight. The Hawks are wearing the all black tops with the white pants below. I like both of these uniforms for both of these teams. They really pop. As there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, it's going to reach the seats down the left field line. And the count remains here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Designated hitter Keisuke Kondo is waiting on deck should Yanagita find his way on base. So here's the 1-2 pitch as Norimoto walks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on. This is line foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Yanagita. I think of the at-bats last night when we called that game between the Buffaloes and the Golden Eagles of Tomoya Mori. Everything that was thrown to the plate, he hit hard last night. And here we have a couple of good swings there by Yanagita, but a little late. But there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. Yanagita goes down on strikes. He's out for out number 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning here for Norimoto as the Hawks are retired in order 1-2-3. There were no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Through a half inning, it is the Hawks no score and the Eagles coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in. It is Hawks and Golden Eagles with you tonight. It is 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll answer some of the questions in the chat when we return. Hang tight, everybody. Appreciate you for being here with us. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Evolution Man the Great in the house tonight. He asked the question, why have the Hawks been so bad recently? He says last time he asked that question out loud, they won 9-3. Well, if you're a Hawk fan, you might want to keep asking that question loudly. You know, since the All-Star break, they were 21-26. And the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have been playing 500 ball. They're 22-22. They've gained a game here as the right-hander Carter Stewart is ready to go to work. And the first pitch to Kobakata as a fastball swung on it is popped up in the infield. Over on the right side of second base, Yukio Shudo makes the catch. And with one pitch, there's one away here for the Golden Eagles. The bottom half of the first inning, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Itsuki Muribayashi. I look at the lineup that the Hawks have rolled out, and then I also think of another thing this year, and that is their import players' lack of production. When you think of over the last few years when they had Yurizabel Graciel and Alfredo Despania when he was a little bit younger, as the fastball is delivered to Muribayashi and it misses down and away for ball one. The count's 1-0. They were getting some pop in production. They basically got nothing from Willens Astudillo. Courtney Hawkins has been buried on the farm. There's a fastball taken for a call strike. Freddie Galvis, his best baseball is long in the rearview mirror. And there really hasn't been anything from their import hitters that you can say has impacted their lineup. There's a fastball swung on it, fouled away down the right field line, and the count is 1-2 to Muribayashi. And it's starting to show up now as, of course, they are a pretty good team, but it's also a depth team. Friend Johnny Thunder asked the question, do we have a prediction of score in this game? As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded back up the middle. Shudo ranges to his right. What a great play by Shudo as he throws from his knees to retire the runner at first base. The ball got under the glove of Carter Stewart Jr. Shudo had to go up the middle, slid on his knees, got it, and fired to first to retire Muribayashi. It's a ground out 4-3. Spectacular play. So if I had to make a prediction here on a scoreline in this one here, Johnny, I'm going to say maybe a 5-3 ball game or possibly 4-2. Especially a travel day for both of these teams, as Fukuoka had to come into Tohoku, as did the Golden Eagles. So here comes the first offering to Hiroki Shimochi. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, it is Masuda in left. The center fielder is Yanagamachi, and in right field, it is Yanagita. There's a ground ball hit to second, fielded by the second baseman Shudo. It's going to be a ground out 4-3. And that is going to do it here for the third out of the inning. So they go in order to the Golden Eagles. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. And I guess back to Johnny Thunder before I go to break, I think it's going to be a lower scoring affair because of the travel day for both of these teams, but that's just my 2 cents of the matter. If this game was maybe a middle of a series, maybe that outcome's a little bit different. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back. We appreciate you for jumping in tonight. It is Eagles and Hawks. We return in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with all the action after this. We appreciate you guys for jumping in and listening with us tonight. We'll be right back.
I've wanted to try this for a while. I want to try to make a wave. is going to be the I.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the batting order coming up here for the Hawks in their half of the second inning, and that's going to be Kensuke Kondo, Tetsuro Yanagamachi, and the first baseman Nomura to come to bat. Some of the questions that came up is the scoreline, and as I said, in a game like today, I'm predicting a less than a 5-3 scoreline, maybe 4-2, something along those lines. Who do I think is going to win? I think the Golden Eagles. I had them last night with Masahiro Tanaka as that fastball misses down to Kondo. Of course, that didn't go so well. Tanaka, usually a big game pitcher, needed to come up big with that one last night. Well, now Norimoto is going to have to stop the bleeding. He's going to have to put up a win here tonight. They want to be able to gain some ground on the Hawks. That breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. To me, this is probably a bigger game for the Hawks than it is, or bigger game for the Eagles than it is for the Hawks. Eagles win tonight, and look for the Hawks to try to gain that split tomorrow night. Here comes the 2-0 offering as the right-hander Norimoto delivers a fastball that misses down. It's now 3-0 to Kondo. So 3 balls and no strikes. Two Nomuras in the lineup tonight for the Hawks. As we said, it is at first base Daiju Nomura, and at third base Asami Nomura. So a little bit of a different looking lineup as a fastball catches the inside corner for a called strike. Some regulars that are not in the lineup tonight that I would have anticipated. Taisi Makihara getting the night off. Kenta Imamiya getting the night off. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. Its tap foul over on the first base side. The count goes to 3-2. No Kurihara. We haven't seen him in a while. I believe he's hurt. Akira Nakamura also gets the night off. So 3 regulars who I would have anticipated to be in the starting lineup, not in the lineup here tonight. As we said, really the major change is Abby out for the Eagles, and in is Daichi Suzuki, the veteran first baseman. Here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander Norimoto kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This is grounded to the shortstop, fielded by Murray Biashi. And he fires to first, and that's going to retire Kondo on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Tetsuro Yanagamachi. As our friend Evolution Man, the Great, listening in from Ireland, we appreciate you listening in from the Emerald Isle. We've got some folks all over the place that listen in, and we are happy when they are here and they let us know. We've got folks from Great Britain who listen in late nights sometimes when they're at work. We also get some folks that are listening to us from all over the United States and Canada, as well as Australia, and some folks in Japan as well. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Darian asks, how are you watching the game? Well, for the last 3 weeks, I was watching it live in Japan as we had attended most of the games, but there are different ways that you can get your feeds, depending on what country you're in, as there's a breaking ball that misses down. So I guess the question that's a bigger question is, what country are you in? And then that's where we can start to give you maybe some assistance. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And the pitch is a breaking ball that is waved out and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Yanagamachi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as they're waiting here. So as the right-hander rocks into the motion and goes to deliver, he kicks and he fires. And there's a split-figure pitch swung on and missed. Yanagamachi goes in the books for the second out of the inning. That's the 3rd strike already here by a strikeout by Norimoto, as he goes into the books for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daiju Nomura. So Daniel says he's listening to us call the game. He's in the USA. Well, being in the United States will dictate a little bit differently. Obviously, we're north of the border. So if you have DAZN, if you've got a VPN and you can get DAZN out of Japan, that is one way that you can get your games. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed by Nomura, and the count is 0-1. Nomura batting .222 on the year with a homer and 4 runs driven in. As we said, he's one of the ones in the lineup that raised our eyebrows. fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Another way in which you can get to the games is through Yahoo in Japan. Again, you're going to need a VPN, but they don't carry all the games. There's a breaking ball that misses down. 2-1 is now the count here to Nomura. Another way in which you can also pick up some feeds sometimes is there's another channel called Friends to Friends. I really don't know much about it. It's, I believe, down in the States. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short, fielded by Murray Biashi, throws to first, and that is going to do it here. A ground out 6-3. So this game's skipping along quickly. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left aboard for the Hawks here in their half of the second. We are now through 1.5. Your score is the Hawks nothing and the Eagles nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action in the bottom of the second. Appreciate you for jumping in here with us. We'll be right back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the second inning. It'll be the heart of the order coming up to bat for the Eagles. That means Asamura, Okajima, and Ogo. Friend Evolution Man the Great says he finally found a stream that works. Good for him. Usually what a lot of people do is the streams are in Japanese, but what they'll do is they sync their feed to our feed, and sometimes there is a little bit of a delay between the two, and hopefully that way there that they can listen to the commentary that we can provide and hopefully enjoy that with us as well. So also, because we're on all the time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You can jump in as well with us for the late night or early morning games, depending where you're at in the world. The first pitch, breaking ball delivered from Carter Stewart Jr. misses down to Asamura, and the count is 1-0. For Asamura, he's leading the Pacific League in home runs with 24. He's got a .267 batting average. 24 homers and 70 runs batted in as he swings and fouls the breaking ball off, and the count is 1-1. It caught the catcher, Takuya Kai, a little bit awkwardly there as he is going to take a moment to reset himself. So 1-1 strike to Asamura. It looked like he may have caught him in the forearm as Kai is wincing a little bit back there. So 1-1 strike it is, as Asamura is waiting here for Kai. Kai still grimacing a little bit, needing that moment to get himself reset. Asamura, Okajima, and Ogo to come to bat here in the second inning as the right-hander Stewart ready to go again. He rocks into the windup, and he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down into deep right center field. Moving back onto the warning track is the right fielder, Yanagita, and he's there, and he makes the catch. Oh, he sent it for a ride. Did Asamura. And that is going to do it there. So he has gone for the first out of the inning. Our friend Rhodes Scholar making it in the house tonight. A little late night action from him. Appreciate you for being there. Starting to get caught up on the back end of things. Posting some photos and videos on the back end of the stuff, as our friend Rhodes Scholar has a member of our channel. So that brings Takiro Okajima to the plate. Okajima hitting .273 on the year with 6 homers and 37 RBIs. Our friend Evolution Man the Great says, "Let's go Hawks." And Rhodes Scholar says, "Early morning action." That is correct. There is a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. We started to give you the lineup defensively for the Hawks in the last half inning, but that was a pretty quick inning, so we'll go through that for you here. Daniel asked the question, is this going to be a high-scoring game? There's a split-finger pitch swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2 on Okajima. No, I think it's going to be a 4-2 or 5-3 game, so I don't know if I consider that to be high-scoring. So 4-2 or 5-3 is my prediction here. Both teams are traveling overnight to get to Tohoku for this game. As there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Okajima's gone in the books for out number 2. So 2 gone, and it also is a bit of a thin lineup tonight for the Hawks, surprisingly. So defensively tonight for the Hawks, as we started to give it to you in the last half inning, it is Shumasuda in left. The center fielder is Yanagamachi, and in right it's Yanagita. Around the horn from first to third, it is Daiji Nomura at first. The second baseman is Shudo. At third, at shortstop, it's Kawase, and at third, it's Sami Nomura. With the battery of Stewart and Kai. Here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yuya Ogo. Ogo won the season hitting .263, 9 homers and 45 runs batted in. As he waits here on the offering from Stewart, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count now is even at 1-1. So that would be as high as the scoring as I think is going to happen. And even that might be a little bit on the high side at 5-3 or 4-2. There's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. I've seen Stewart pitch a few times this year. I think this is maybe the 4th or 5th time. And when he gets on a roll and he gets in a groove, he is very tough to hit. But I haven't really seen him go much more than 5+ innings. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to the first base side. Diving is the first baseman, Nomura. He gets a glove on it, but it's going to trickle into the 4-hole. And Ogo is going to be aboard with a 1 or 2 out single. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. So that's the first hit for either team in this game. He hit the ball hard. The ball was, as the first baseman dove, he tried to take it on the short hop, but he couldn't get the glove on it fully. Ended up trickling behind him where Yukio Shudo picked it up. But aboard with a base hit is Ogo. Good effort there by the first baseman. Really did a good job to get off of his position. Took a good couple of steps to his right, but couldn't come up with the ball that was hard hit. Here's the first pitch to Tatsumi. That swung on. It is driven into deep left center field, giving chase, and this is going to be just past the glove of Yanagamachi. It's off the wall. Rounding third and heading home is Ogo. Tatsumi is digging for third, and he's going to cruise in with a triple, and the Golden Eagles are on the board with a 1-0 lead. So just like that, they have jumped out in front here of their cousins, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Both of these birds here trying to flap their wings, and it's Tatsumi and Ogo. Everything all happening here with 2 out. So the Golden Eagles have a 1-0 lead. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. Daniel says, what would be the next step as the VPN is in Japan? To be honest with you, I really don't know, Daniel, the schedule of the games that are being fed through that. I'm just giving you some options. So I know that they do feed some of the stuff for Japan. So I don't even know if this game is scheduled to be on their feed. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball. There's a pile of other options that are out there. That first pitch is a breaking ball that misses to Suzuki, counts 1-0. You're going to have to do some searching. I'm just giving you the options of where you can go and pick stuff up. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Again, there's also places in Taiwan. I can't get it here unless I had to use a VPN, and then some of those ones are a little bit sketchy in terms of viruses and different stuff. So usually don't give that information out just because I myself don't always use that, or I shouldn't say don't use it. It would probably be the better word, but I know some of them exist. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Suzuki as the right-hander Stewart kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first baseline. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. It's a decent crowd tonight for a Tuesday night, obviously, with both of these clubs battling for playoff positioning. Daiichi Suzuki in the hole here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The runner at third is Tatsumi. As the right-hander Stewart kicks and fires, fastball swung on, popped up softly into foul territory on the first base side. Over is Nomura. He makes the catch, but there's been damage done in the inning as the Golden Eagles have broken open the ballgame here with a 1-0 lead on the triple RBI triple by Ryosuke Tatsumi. 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. Everything came with 2 outs, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. Your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the top of the 3rd inning when we return. Appreciate you guys for bouncing in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. That's our friend Matt Hollis, who is got a channel called Another Hollis Build. He supports us, and we like to support him. Make sure you go check him out after the ball game. Our friend Evolution Man the Great said watching the Hawks can be frustrating as they miss almost every ball that comes their way, it seems. As I said, tonight it is a little different. We've been normally seeing Shudo in center field. They've got Yannick Gamachi out there, who normally is on the corners. Masaki Momori getting the night off at second base, as is the shortstop Kenta Imamiya. So a little bit different. And of course, the first baseman, who's been Akira Nakamura, also getting the night off. So the first pitch delivered to Masuda, taken for a fastball for a called strike. Armoto back to work again. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball delivered and is lifted into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is the right fielder, Ogo. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Masuda for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Kai on the season, he's hitting .201. He's got 10 homers and 40 RBIs. What I really like about Takuya Kai is his defensive presence. He is a solid defensive catcher, the 30-year-old. He's not a big guy. He only stands at 5'7". As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Kai batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Norimoto, who has retired the first 7 batters he's faced. Rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As we mentioned, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes to 1-2. We'll give you the same 2 teams again. We're going to try to make sure that we stay with all the competitive games from now until the end of the season. And what I mean by competitive is teams that are in the playoff hunt. And here comes the 1 and 2, or the seeding games. That's a fastball that just misses outside. Oh, Norimoto wanted that call. Takuya Kai gets the call on that one. Tomorrow will be a couple of interesting pitching matchups, as it is going to be Fuji who takes to the hill for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. As Norimoto rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. He has a 2-0 record on the year. He's only appeared in 6 ball games. He's got a 2.73 ERA, so he will go on the hill tomorrow for the Golden Eagles. Fukuoka is going to counter with Ozeki, Tomohisa Ozeki. He's making his 16th appearance. He's got 4 wins and 6 losses. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to third. Fielded neatly by the third baseman, Kobakata, who throws to first, and that's going to retire Kai on a ground out 5-3. He's out for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Asami Nomura. So just back to the thoughts about the scores. Tonight, I think it's a low-scoring game, but I think tomorrow's got fireworks written all over it. It could be an explosive game tomorrow night. Just with the pitchers who are on the hill, and then, of course, we see the regulars in the lineup for both of these clubs, or the veteran players that we would assume that you've got an extra night in a bed to sleep in. There's a breaking ball swung on and tapped right foul at the feet of the hitter, Asami Nomura. The count is 0-1. Nomura hitting $147 on the year, 3 homers and 7 RBIs. As we said, a lot of ugly batting averages in the lineup here for the Hawks tonight. Outside of Yanagita, Kondo, and Yanagamachi, there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. Once you take everybody, those 3 out of the lineup, only Yukio Shudo is the highest batting average at 235. Everybody is below Shudo. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. Pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Nomura goes into the books for out number 3. That's strikeout number 4 here for Norimoto. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, it is 1-0 for the Golden Eagles. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board here for the Hawks in their half of the third. This game is skipping along pretty quick, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you for listening in tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. You're listening to the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few after this.
All right, so I'm gonna finish this little beach scene.
Welcome back, everybody. We are now going to be moving to the bottom half of the third inning. And we had Johnny Thunder says, yeah, the game is flying by. This is unbelievable so far. I always look at it this way. If you can get 15 minutes per inning, you're doing pretty good. And that is not always the case, because that takes a game to 2 hours and 15 minutes. But when you get a pause and you get into the bullpens later in the game, that's where the game starts to drag down. They've got the pitching changes, people coming in and everything else. But if you can get through 4 or into the 5th inning in under an hour, you're rocking and rolling. The first pitch from Carter Stewart is a fastball that misses outside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Only games tonight in the Pacific League. The Central League has the night off. There is scoring from around the rest of the league as well, as there's a fastball that misses. Counts 2-0 to Oda. Oda hitting .266 on the year with 3 homers and 13 RBIs. Stewart rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 2-1. It is 2-0 in the top of the second for the Fighters over the Lions. Really, that's the basement bowl in the Pacific League. Neither team is going to make the playoffs. There's a fastball that swung on, and this is lifted foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 2-2. So we would have absolutely zero interest in that particular one. 2-0. The Buffaloes have the lead at the Kyocera Dome over the Marines. We would call that game only an event of bad weather, which could potentially happen tomorrow night. in Tohoku as the 2-2 pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field, coming hard, sliding, and making the catch is Shuma Suda. What a catch by him. Nice defensive play. That's going to retire Oda for the first out of the inning. So Carter Stewart getting some help defensively. And that is one up and one away, and they'll bring up the top of the order in Hiroto Kobakata. But just back to that game between the Buffaloes and the Marines, it doesn't mean anything really that much, as it is the Buffaloes haven't closed out the Pacific League yet. It's only a matter of time. Their magic number, if I remember correctly, it's 4 going into tonight's game. Combination of their wins and Marine losses. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobakata. So because they have such a healthy lead, but it does impact the Marines because the Hawks are chasing the Marines, and they do have a chance to still finish in second place. So there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 0-2 to Kobakata. So obviously not just making the playoffs, but trying to get to that 2 spot would be a huge boost for the ball club. So the Marines are still trying to win some ball games to keep their distance between the Hawks and the Eagles. As the batter has called time, it was late to the plate. You can see the bug. There's a bug flying around. Kobakata called time. Kai called time. The umpire went diving out of the way, and Stewart was ready to go into the windup. But this bug, as big as my fist, was flying around in the face of Kobakata and by the catcher Kai. That's very distracting. You got somebody throwing 95 miles an hour. You don't want a bug in your face. Here comes the 0-2. Fastball that misses just inside and backs Kobakata off the plate, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just got away from the chat there for a little bit. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Kobakata is gone for the second out of the inning. 2 are in the books. Evolution Man, the great, says, yeah, usually 3 innings is an hour or so. And you're right, because the normal game on the NPB website, they say, is for 9 innings, it's 3 hours and 8 minutes. And that is the second strikeout in the books for Stewart. That brings up the shortstop, Murray Biashi. The first pitch to him is a fastball that misses for a ball. It counts 1-0. He asks, what's the pitcher's name? Carter Stewart is the Hawks pitcher. It is Norimoto going for the Tohoku Ball Club. As the 1-0 pitch is delivered, there's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 2-0. Road Scholar asked the question, when did the NPB start playing Monday games? Well, there have been some Monday games in the schedule this year, not too many of them. And certainly there's going to be a lot of them coming up. They usually use those ones late in the season to make up the rainouts. Fastball swung on and fouled away. So you are going to get some Monday action. Not a ton of it, but there will be Monday action that is going to be upcoming across the NPB. So stick around and wait for it, I guess, would be the best way I can describe it. Here's the 2-1. Fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line, but it's going to drift into the seats. Count's going to go to 2-2 on Murray Biashi. When I look at the other games, and as I say, we're keeping our eye not just on the games that we'll call, but for reasons, the competitive games, because we want to be able to do stuff here that will bring our crowd in. Games that are meaningful or mean something. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. On his horse is Yanagamachi, and he dives and he can't make the catch. Rounding first and heading to second, and rounding second and heading to third is Murray Biashi. Here comes the throw, and it's not going to be in time, and that's going to be a 2-out triple. Oh boy. So, here we go again. Carter Stewart gets the first 2 outs of the inning, and then we get some fireworks as Murray Biashi has hit himself a triple here, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Hiroki Shimauchi. It was a good effort there by Yanagamachi. He laid out for the ball, but he wasn't able to come up with it. He had to really get on his horse and have to go after it, but was unable to make the play. As we go back to a full slate of games tomorrow night, we'll be back for this one, or we plan to be. It is, the forecast has changed. It's just calling for cloud tomorrow night. So we'll be back for that on Thursday. We're eyeballing the game between the Hawks and the Marines on Thursday, but that one there is rain in the forecast. So we'll have to make a note of that before we get into the schedule of play there. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. But it is supposed to start cloudy and then turn to rain. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled on that one. On Friday, if the game still goes as is, there's a breaking ball swung on. This is lifted into straightaway center field. Yanagamachi's there. He makes the catch. Shimauchi's gone for the third out of the inning. That will do it here for the Golden Eagles in their half of the third. Well, they threaten, but they don't score on the 2-out triple by Murray Biashi. No runs a hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We're now through 3 complete. Your score is the Eagles 1, the Hawks no score. Just a couple more thoughts as we get into the Friday Japan game time. We'll probably take a look at the possibility of calling the Golden Eagles if they're still in the hunt for a playoff spot. So it might be a Golden Eagle week right across the board, except for Thursday. So we'll make those decisions, as we said, as the days get a little bit closer, and as we do get closer. But one last thing before I part for break. Monday, full slate of games next week in the Japanese League, but there won't be any early starts from now, I don't believe, till the end of the season. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few. We appreciate you for listening in. It is the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in a few. Scoreline is 1-0 Eagles as we move to the top of the fourth. We'll be right back with all the action after this. Our final in the quartet from our friend Matt Hollis. We'll be right back in just a few. Or maybe not. Yukio Shudo to lead it off here in the fourth inning. He takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike as Norimoto ready to deliver again. And he delivers a breaking ball that swung on and fouled off into the catcher Oda. So in the hole here at 0-2 is Shudo. It has been a pretty efficient night here for the right-hander Norimoto. He only threw 36 pitches in the first 3 innings as he begins his fourth inning of work. As the right-hander rocks into the windup and he kicks and fires. It is a split finger pitch down in the dirt that swung on and missed. And they have to go down to first base. It's going to go as a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up the shortstop, Hikaru Kawase. So 1 up and 1 away here for the Hawks in their half of the fourth inning. And it has been 10 up and 10 retired here by Norimoto. And you don't want to predict certain things, but boy, he's got a lot of good stuff working tonight. So stay with us on this one. The first pitch is a fastball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kawase. Kawase struck out looking his first time up in this one. He's 0-for-1 tonight as he steps out of the batter's box. And that bug that was around, it's still around there. They're still causing havoc with the hitter. That was the one that Kobakata was diving out of the way from. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. And he squares the bunt and he drags it down the first baseline. It is fielded by the first baseman who flips it to the pitcher. That's one way to get your first hit of the ball game. Kawase breaks up the no-no with a single down the first base line on a drag bunt. That was a tough play by the pitcher and the first baseman. You got to tip your hat to Kawase. He was able to use his speed. He got it down, was able to get it by the pitcher. The first baseman, Suzuki, fielded it, but nobody was able to get to the base in time, and that's going to be the first hit of the ball game here for the Hawks. You take it any way you can get it. Kawase does that here. So he's aboard at first. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuki Yanagita. And for Yanagita, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Batting here from the left side against the right-handed throwing Norimoto. And that's the one thing. This game has been a little bit of a powder keg. When they get a runner on, then things really happen quickly. So here comes the first offering to Yanagita as Norimoto holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers a fastball that just misses inside under the hands, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Both pitchers tonight have got pretty good stuff. Lots of movement on their pitches. In Major League Baseball, what they'll normally do when they have a road trip like yesterday, they'll send their pitchers a day ahead, so they might be able to get into the hotel, or at least for the home team to sleep at home. And so not be with the team the day before. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up into left field. Moving over underneath it is the left fielder Okajima. He makes the catch. It's going to retire Yanagita for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Kazuki Kondo. But I don't know if that's the general plan in the Japanese league. So, of course, if they played yesterday night, both of these teams had to travel, as the Golden Eagles were playing in Osaka. And Fukuoka, if I'm not mistaken, was playing the Fighters last night. So their travel would have been a lot less, as they are already in the Hokkaido region. To be able to go from Hokkaido to Tohoku would have been not much of a trek. But as I say, sometimes they put the starting pitchers a day ahead to give them some rest. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Kondo. The runner Kawase was on the move there as that ball was fouled away. Looks like there, and it was a foul tip instead. So no balls, 1 strike here. Kondo taps both sides of the plate. He's waggling the bat, ready to go. Norimoto gets his sign from his catcher Oda. He works to the set. And here comes the 0-1 offering. But again, time is called. That bug has come back again. Kondo is now using his bat as a sword. Try to hit that thing. It is a bit of a problem. And I need something to zap it with. I was given as a gift one of those zappers for bugs. It's like a tennis racket that when you turn it on and the bug comes flying by, you hit it and it zaps it, electroshocks it. I've not put it to use yet. There's a fastball swung on it, almost takes off the head of the pitcher Norimoto into center field. And stopping at second base is Kawase. It's a single there for Kondo. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 gone, and it's going to bring up the center fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. So both of these teams tonight, when they've threatened with 2 out. That ball was whizzed right by the head of Norimoto into center field. Kondo right on time with the pitch. Did a great job of keeping his hands inside the ball and delivering that line drive up the middle. So they are threatening here with runners at first and second and 2 gone, and Yanagamachi stepping to the plate. Yanagamachi 0 for 1 in this one. He struck out his first time up. As the right-hander Norimoto delivers a fastball inside that moves Yanagamachi off the plate for ball 1. The count's 1-0. Yanagamachi in center field tonight has had to get on his horse and try to run some balls down. Couldn't come up with a couple of them. There's been 2 triples hit into the left center field pull gap by Eagles hitters. Here's the pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I was disappointed as I was not able to get to either one of these 2 teams to see one of them when I was in Japan. Got to 9 of the 12 teams. I was actually supposed to go see the Hawks and the Marines. Marines are the other team I didn't get to see, but I made a little bit of a gaffe when I was in Tokyo and not being able to get to that game. I would love to have seen those. As there's a fastball that just misses inside. The count goes to 2-1. The can't remember who was slated to pitch for the Marines, but that night it was supposed to be Kohei Arihara for the Hawks. Ended up seeing the game between the Swallows and the Giants, which turned out to be not a bad game anyways. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander holds to the set position. As he checks the runner at second, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. That's grounded up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. Here comes around third Kawase. The throw comes to the plate. It's going to get cut off. And that's going to be a single here by Yanagamachi. And this ball game is all tied up. Kondo's going to stop at second. Kawase comes around to score the tying run. We are now locked at ones here in the fourth inning. And as we said, pretty much the damage has all come with 2 outs for both teams. So Yanagamachi with a clutch hit. That's his 31st RBI of the year. And, you know, the pitcher, Norimoto's got to feel like he's going to need an L screen out there because that one was grounded right back through him, just underneath his glove side. The batter before, Kondo, almost took his head off. So they are right on time with the pitch right now. And that's going to bring up Daiju Nomura. It also brings out the catcher Oda and the infield to talk it over with the right-hander. So Nomura oh for 1 tonight. He has grounded to shortstop his only time up. Our friend Evolution Man the Great says yes to the Hawks. We usually have a pretty good Hawk crowd on the weekend. Our weekday games little light in terms of those who come in and join us, which is understandable for North Americans to be in the middle of the night trying to listen in or to come and visit us while we're doing these games. A little bit of a challenge. The crowd usually picks up as the morning goes on. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Nomura. So no balls and 1 strike. Waiting on deck is Shumasuda. Should Nomura be able to reach base and keep this inning going? Here comes the 0-1 offering as the right-hander works to the set and now delivers. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Nomura's in the hole now at 0-2. It's also interesting sometimes we noticed about Carter Stewart in one of his previous starts when he was pitching from the windup. Completely different pitcher than pitching from the stretch. And here we are with Norimoto. As soon as he had to go from the stretch, that's when all the excitement started to happen. So here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 0-2. Eagles and Hawks, as we said on tonight, and we will probably, well, not probably, we will stay with this game tomorrow night. Then we'll make decisions, as we said, as we move forward toward the weekend. We'll be standing watching as much as everybody else. Less than 3 weeks to go here on the season. And our friend Evolution Man the Great says he's got to be stopped swinging on some of these pitches because he'd be on base by now. Yeah, some poor plate discipline. There is a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. Which is probably the reason why he's hitting, or at least entered the game hitting 222 for a reason. And why he's batting 6th in the order. He's not one of your better hitters. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set. He checks the runner at second base and now fires. Fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Norimoto gets a new baseball. He walks around the back of the mound. It looks like he had something in his eye. He was the way that he was using his sleeve to try to get his eyes cleared up. Runner at second is Kondo. Runner at first is Yanagamachi. 2 gone here with a 2-2 count to Nomura. 2's all the way around. Here comes the pitch. Norimoto kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. Another one grounded back to the pitcher. This time he fields it. He throws to first with some purpose. That's going to be a ground out, 1-3. 3 balls in this inning, scorched right back at the pitcher. That is going to do it here. But the Hawks get a run in the inning. They got 1 run on 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 4th inning. Naramoto, bring your L screen out next inning. You need some protection. We'll be back here in just a few, everybody. We appreciate you guys for being with us. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. Carter Stewart Jr. has just completed his warm-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here, as it'll be the heart of the batting order coming up for the Eagles in their half of the 4th inning. It'll be Hideo Asamura, Takiro Okajima, and Yuya Ogo slated to come to bat. For Asamura, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field in his only trip up here against the American right-hander. 1-1 ball game here as we move to the bottom of the 4th. As Stewart rocks into the windup and delivers. And the pitch is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. When I watch Stewart pitch, and obviously his goal will be to come back to Major League Baseball at some point. He becomes a free agent. He can sign with any team after his 6th season in Japan. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1. If I'm not mistaken, this is year 4 for him. He's first 2 years he pitched with a little bit with the first team. The 3rd year, or maybe it's year 5. The first year he stayed in the minors or on the farm team. As that breaking ball misses down, the count's 2-1. And he had a couple of cups of coffee with the first team. Last year he never saw any action. This year here he has become a regular. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined over to the shortstop. And a nice play by Kawase, who dropped to his knees to make the catch. And Asamura is going to be gone for out number 1 here in the 4th inning. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Takiro Okajima. But what I'd have to say about Carter Stewart is that I don't know. His fastball is definitely Major League ready. But I don't know if I like his breaking ball or his secondary stuff quite yet. So it'll be interesting to see if when he makes the jump back over, and he does have a big league fastball, no doubt about it. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. But he does have another year and change to be able to refine his skills. The 0-1 on the way. There's a breaking ball that drops in, and the count now goes to 0-2. He continues to deliver breaking balls like that. His process will be expedited much quicker to get back to North America. Here comes the 0-2 as he rocks into the windup and goes to deliver. And it is a breaking ball that just misses inside. Count goes to 1-2. And Okajima. Other thing about Carter Stewart is that he does have that power fastball. And I remember listening to one of his interviews on Baseball America. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2. And he said the difference between the United States and in Japan is when you try to walk the ladder with a high fastball in Japan, the hitters can get to it. They just fire their hands at the ball. They'll slap it. They'll keep it in play with 2 strikes. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. Whereas the 2-strike approach of the North American hitters, you can walk the ladder and they'll swing through and miss it. So it's harder and harder to strike out hitters in the NPB and in Japan, period, than it is in North America, in his opinion. Just the style of the game's a little different, and even what the hitters are trying to do approach-wise. Here's the 2-2. fastball swung on and hit foul down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2 to Okajima. I found that very interesting in terms of his thought process, at least in trying to attack hitters. Couldn't power up and blow them away like he could in North America, especially at the collegiate level. Here's the 2-2. That's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-2. So Okajima's battled it all the way back to a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to the Golden Eagles left fielder. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as he rocks into the windup and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is a lined foul down the left field line. Count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is going to be pitch number 9 of the at-bat coming up here as the left fielder continues to battle Carter Stewart. Here's the 3-2 offering. And that is a breaking ball and another one fouled away, and the battle continues. He can't quite put Okajima away. Regardless of the outcome of this bat, you have to say that Okajima has certainly done his part. He's taken 10 bullets out of the arm of Carter Stewart Jr. He's got himself a quality at bat. That is for sure. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball swung on, tapped over on the right side of the infield, coming off the bag and fielding it as the first baseman Nomura, as he calls Carter Stewart off, and he's going to take it himself. That's going to be a ground out to 3 for out number 2. Even though it's an out by Okajima, it's a great at bat. Really had to make the pitcher work. Nice job there by the first baseman to field the ball and make the play, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. So Ogo, who is 1 for 1 tonight, he scored the only Eagles run in this one. He singled with 2 out in the second, was brought home on the triple by Tatsumi. And the first pitch to him is a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by Shudo. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Ogo. Goes in the books as a ground out 4-3 for out number 3. And that will do it here. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board in this half inning. And your score as we move to the top of the 5th inning, it is the Hawks 1 and the Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. The top of the 5th will return in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being with us. Once again, here is our friend Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. He is definitely a one of a kind.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and check out his weird and crazy stuff. But that is Steve. We appreciate you for your support. Well, it is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. That's going to be Shu Masuda, Takuya Kai, and Isami Nomura to face the right-hander Norimoto, who is on for his 5th inning of work. As the right-hander gets ready to deliver, he rocks into the windup and kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shu Masuda. The right-hander, again, ready to go back to work. He kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball that misses inside. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. Boy, I don't know about that one. I'd like to get a look at the replay on that. The count now is even at 1-1. Only 55 pitches in the 4 innings for the right-hander. So a fairly efficient start here so far. Breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the first base side of home plate. Count is 1-2. Similar line score for both teams through 4 innings. 1-3-0 for the Hawks, 1-3-0 for the Eagles. As the right-hander gets ready to deliver again, he rocks into the windup and fires. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted foul. It is going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is here to Shu Masuda. Be interested to see how this one plays out, as our friend Johnny was in here earlier, Johnny Thunder, and he was asking us what we thought the scoreline was going to be, and I said 5-3, 4-2, something along those lines. Well, probably might even, at this rate, even end up being lower. As that pitch there misses down, it's going to run the count to 2-2 to Masuda. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Naramoto rocking into the windup, and he kicks and he delivers. Breaking ball misses down and away. The count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Masuda. The leadoff hitter here in the 5th inning. Right-hander Naramoto rocking into the windup again. He kicks and he delivers. Fastball swung on the fist, grounded softly over to third, fielded by Kobakata. He throws it in the dirt. Nice pick there by Suzuki. That's going to go as a ground out 5-3 for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. Well, for Kai, he is 0 for 1 in this one, and that he has grounded out to third in his only trip to the plate. So 0 for 1 for Takuya Kai. As we said earlier in the stream, he is more there for his defense, as his average has dropped to the 200 mark. But he does have some offense in him at times, and he has a flair for the dramatics. He's got the 10 homers on the year. Pitch comes in, breaking ball. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. On top of the scoring here, as our friend Johnny was there, he said, earlier on, we were talking about some of the score lines as he is in the house, as there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. The count is 0-2. I wouldn't bat an eye that this game could go extra innings tonight, just the way that it's sort of shaping up. Our friend Evolution Man the Great said, we were in Japan recently. How did you cope with the heat during the game? And what's your favorite foods over there? Well, we'll answer that for you as we move along here. First of all, the heat, that I kind of enjoyed the heat, I have to admit, as the 0-2 is on the way. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Count goes to 1-2. Growing up in what the Americans could call the Midwest, certainly in southwestern Ontario, we would get that heat and humidity. We don't get it where I'm at now on the West Coast, but it was in your face hot. So you're looking at temperatures of 35 Celsius, 95 Fahrenheit, pretty much every day. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Again, fielded by Kobakata. This time he throws it cleanly across the infield. Retires Kai on a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that brings it up to the third baseman, Asami Nomura. But it is extremely hot. The one difference growing up in that area, or where I lived in the country here, you'd get 3, 4, 5 days in a row of the extreme heat. You get a thunderstorm that rolls through. It knocks it down 20 degrees Fahrenheit. And then the next thing you know is it starts to ratchet up again. Whereas in Japan, it's in your face hot 24/7. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. There's a lot of underground shopping malls, a lot of underground walkways for people because of certainly the heat, getting to and from subways. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. So once you get onto that system, you can stay below the ground and you're not sweating like a pig. Here comes the 2-0 pitch as the right-hander rocks and delivers, and there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's 2-1. As far as favorite foods, well, I certainly like my ramen, and the ramen is a great scene in Vancouver here. Tons of ramen restaurants around. Here's the 2-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's also grounded to third. This whole inning is going to be the Hiroto Kobakata inning. He throws to first. That's going to retire Nomura. It's a ground out 5-3 for 3 up and 3 away. That is going to do it here in the 5th for the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. Your score is the Hawks 1 and the Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back, and we'll talk more about food in Japan when I return after this. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Here's our friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and the support you give to our channel. And in turn, we support Matt Hollis. It is going to be Carter Stewart Jr. coming back out to start his 5th inning of work. It'll be the bottom third of the order in Ryosuke Tatsumi, Daichi Suzuki, and Hikaru Oda. So some of the other stuff, some of the neat ballpark food that you could get. I mean, one of the things that I know our friend Road Scholar is probably still listening to us, and as Tatsumi is coming to the plate, he had the RBI triple his first time up. One of the things that you go to the ball games, I've never been to a ballpark in North America where food has been sold out, but in Japan, it is. There's a fastball ticket for a call strike. So one of the things that I don't think that the Japanese have done very well, I like a lot of things that they do, a lot of long lines at the concession stands for food in between innings. There's a fastball that misses down and the count is 1-1. The ballpark food in general is pretty good. There's all kinds of stuff you can get. I had one night when I was in Osaka, I actually had a noodles, and it was with noodles. It was with chicken and everything else. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-1. But one of the neatest things I had was at the Tokyo Dome. And when you think about it, think about like a ball, like a fried ball. If you've ever had a Scotch egg where it's like egg and sausage, there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-2. And stuffed in the middle was chicken, curry, and a quail egg. And then when you eat into it, just the juices, the way it flowed, it had nuts around the outside. It was unbelievable. 2-2 pitch on the way. It's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-2. So that's what I thought was really, really cool to eat. Had some interesting flavors. You get a lot of stuff at the games and some different things. One of the things I also thought was kind of neat is you can actually leave the stadium at the Tokyo Dome and get a re-entry pass as long as you come back by the end of the 7th. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4, and Tatsumi is going to be aboard with a base on balls. That's the one thing tonight that Stewart's done very well. He hasn't walked anybody. It's the first walk allowed tonight by him. He's walked 36 batters in 59 innings, which is a little bit on the high side for any pitcher. But that's the first free pass here tonight allowed to the Golden Eagles, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daichi Suzuki. And I would not bat an eye that we'll see a sacrifice bunt here in this situation. This is probably playing out as a 1-run ball game or potentially maybe a couple of run game. And Takuya Kaya has gone out to the front to flash signs to his defense. We'll get back to the food talk in just a moment. But as we said, it is the left-handed hitting Suzuki at the plate. They throw over. He shows no signs of bunt. Diving back safely is the base runner Tatsumi. Scores from around the Pacific League, as we said, only games of the Pacific League going on. The other one that really matters is the 2-1 scoreline between the Buffaloes and the Marines. It's in the bottom of the fourth. Top of the fourth inning, Fighters and Lions are locked up at 3 in the Basement Bowl. Fastball misses upstairs to Suzuki, and the count is 1-0. He did not square to bunt that time, so eyes peeled here. Let's see what they do with Tatsumi and Suzuki. If they're not going to bunt, maybe they'll hit and run. So 1 ball and no strikes to the left-handed hitting first baseman as Stewart holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is belted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. Runs the count even to 1-1. But as I said, there's some different concoctions, different type of foods you get. Like normally you have a hot dog or you go some of that stuff. From Influence is in the house tonight from Australia. So we've got Ireland covered, Australia, the United States. We welcome him to the stream. Friend Evolution Man the Great says sometime you'll get a chance to watch one live. I was able to get to 9 in the 17 days I was there. Stewart throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Tatsumi. Here comes the 1-1 to Suzuki as the right-hander holds set. Breaking ball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Suzuki to be followed by Hikaru Oda here in the 5th inning. Just as a reminder, at the end of this half inning, we'll take a break as the Pacific League, they like to do we like to call Japanese halftime. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's going to be 3-1 now to Suzuki. And what I mean by the Japanese halftime is they take an extended break in between the innings, come out and they work on the field, and they do some other stuff. And so that'll give us a chance to go and refresh our iced tea so that we can continue the call here for the rest of the ball game. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul over on the third base side. If Suzuki would have held up on that one, that might have been ball 4. He was looking to do some damage. We'll get the replay of that. That was up around above the letters. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Golden Eagle first baseman. You could get your hot dogs at the game as well, but they're certainly not the main attraction. And there's all kinds of other stuff that you can get at the games as well. Different places have different things. 3-2 pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Coming over underneath it is the right fielder, Yanagita. He's got space. He makes the catch. And Suzuki is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. So he's in the books for out number 1. That's going to bring up the catcher, Hikaru Oda. One thing I didn't talk about in last night's game between the Eagles and the Buffaloes, and for those who are listening in who maybe caught the game last night or listened on delay, there were 5 double plays turned by the Buffaloes in the first 5 innings of that game last night. It was absolutely incredible. I missed I keep the score, but there was a strike 'em out, throw 'em out in the first inning, and then the 4 conventional double plays in innings 2 through 5. Eagles had their chances, but defensively, the Buffaloes were snuffing it out. Stewart throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner, Tatsumi. Hikaru Oda here at the plate, waiting on the offering from the right-hander. And again, Stewart throws over, and again diving back in time as the base runner. But as I said before, and I don't know if Rhodes Scholar's still with us too, the other part of this is that the one thing I noticed in Japan this time for the very first time is that the Tokyo Dome, you could only buy stuff on your credit card. You could only buy things, food or souvenirs on your card. In the other stadiums, it was pretty much cash. Although I think it was Yokohama it was Saitama, where the Saitama Cebu Lions, where I had to buy something with my card. But pretty much everything else, it was cash. And so I found that to be a bit eyebrow raising in Tokyo, that would be the case, that they're trying to shift people into using their credit cards. No cash at the stands. So really for a couple of nights, I didn't buy much because I had a lot of cash with me and I didn't feel like using the card. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. Counts 0-1 here to Oda. Bottom of the fifth inning, all locked up at ones. It's been a pretty quick pace to this one here so far, as we're an hour and 20 deep into the fourth, but it has slowed down a little bit, especially with the base runners in the last couple innings. So here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball's lifted into right field. Yanagita moving back. He's on the wall. He makes the catch up against the wall in right field on the warning track, and having to retreat all the way back to first base is Tatsumi. What a play there by the right fielder. He was able to make sure he got all the way back to the wall. You got to tip your hat to Oda. He set it a long way, but not deep enough, as he's gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Hirota Kobakata. It's the one thing you don't see on the fences in Japan. I believe only in one ballpark. And I believe it was in Kobe, where they would put the dimensions on the field. Everywhere else, they don't have the dimensions down the lines or in center field. It was funny when a friend of mine said he was a kid. He used to see Major League Baseball when it would be 330 down the line. He didn't know it was feet. He thought it was meters. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kobakata. Kobakata tonight is 0 for 2. He's struck out and he's popped the short in his 2 trips to the plate, as he waits here on the offering from Stewart. But defensively, he's had a great game. He made all the putouts in the last half inning. As they fire over to first base and Tatsumi gets back in time. Close play there. So no balls and 1 strike here to Kobakata. As we said, defensively, he's been a workhorse tonight. Made all 3 putouts in the last half inning. He's had 4 assists, or sorry, not putouts. He's had 4 assists tonight, 3 in the ball game. As there's a pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Right-hander Stewart leaning in, getting the sign from his catcher Kai. He works to the set. Tatsumi at first. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As I said, different types of foods. There's other stuff sometimes I'm not saying I didn't want to try, but I'd be kind of like, I don't know if I want to try it at the ball game. But the other part that you can say when going to the ball game is the food is fresh. So as I mentioned, there were times that the game it was sold out. Like you would go and you'd want to get some food, and nope, sorry, it's gone, sold out. You got to get something else. Which, as I say, in North America, you never see. I mean, if your hot dogs are sold out on your opening day, your person who's ordering the hot dogs is going to get fired. Can't never sell out your hot dogs on opening day. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count goes to 2-2. There was a lady who was the general manager of the Vancouver Canadians in British Columbia probably about 15 years ago. That's what happened to her. She was the general manager, and they had ran out of hot dogs on opening night. Well, she got tagged as the hot dog lady, and of course, I don't believe she was employed much further after that, as that fastball misses upstairs. It's 3-2 to Kobakata. Well, that means that the runner Tatsumi is going to be on the move here once Stewart goes to the plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander gets his sign from Kai, Kobakata waggling the bat. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Stewart strikes out Kobakata for the 2nd time tonight. He's going to be out for number 3 here. They strand the runner at first base. No runs. There was no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are through 5 complete. It is the Hawks 1 and the Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 6th inning in a few. Remember, it's going to be an extended break here. As like they do in the Japanese league, they like to clean the field, and take a little extra time. Drink breaks for everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. 1-1's your score. We're moving to the top of the 6th. It's the extended break between the 5th and the 6th innings. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. 1-1 Eagles and Hawks as we move to the 6th. Our friend Caesar in the house tonight, CV Baseball Card Collector. I appreciate you for popping in. We'll be back in just a few. As we said, we have this extended break here in the top half, or in the innings between the 5th and the 6th. We'll be back in just a few after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us tonight. It is our friend Matt once again.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
It's 1-1, everybody. We'll be back in a few here as Normoto's coming out to do his warm-up tosses. Stick around. We'll be right back with all of the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order coming up here for the Hawks. Shuto, Kawase, and Yanagita to face the right-hander Norimoto here as we're ready to resume the action. And the first pitch from the right-hander is on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one. Shuto 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to the pitcher and struck out his 2 trips to the plate. As Norimoto kicks and delivers, it is a fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Norimoto wasting no time, kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down. Count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike on Shuto. It's a nice night for baseball in Tohoku as the pitcher here, Norimoto, wearing sleeves tonight. So a little bit on the cooler side there in the northern part of the country as the fastball misses down and the count goes to 3-1. Hawks looking for a base runner here as Shuto can be the guy who can get around the bases. You want to keep him off the base paths. 3-1 on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 3-2. Shuto gets on. He can run. He can run not just a little bit. He runs a lot. He's got 31 stolen bases on the year. So his wheels can get him into scoring position quickly. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded by the second baseman, Asamura. He has to hurry, throws to first, and that is going to retire Shuto on a ground out 4-3. Nice play there by the second baseman as he had to come in and charge the ball hard, and he threw off balance to first base. That retires Shuto for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop, Hikaru Kawase. Well, for Kawase tonight, he is 1 for 2. He has scored the only run of the game. He got on base on a bunt base hit. It was the first hit of the ball game in the 4th inning. After Norimoto had retired 10 batters in a row, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded right back to the pitcher. Fields it, he throws to first, and that's going to retire Kawase in a ground out 1-3. That tonight there, as far as the pitcher is concerned, that's the 3rd time tonight he has made the putout. And then there's been 3 other times where he's had his head almost taken off, his shin almost ripped apart, where there's been comebackers up the middle that have kept him active. So we count 6 balls tonight that have gone back through the box. That's going to bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate. Yanagita tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown to left his 2 trips. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yanagita entered the ballgame tonight hitting .300. That has fallen off the pace. He does have 20 homers and 76 runs driven in. Both he and the on-deck hitter Kazuki Kondo have really fed off one another. Fastball swung on it is fouled off the catcher Oda, off the inside of the leg where he doesn't have the padding, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So the right-hander Norimoto rocking into the windup. And here he kicks and delivers. It is a split-finger pitch that misses down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say that Yanagita didn't go around. That's going to run the count to 1-2. We got to look at that one and probably would have to agree with the third base umpire on that one. Yanagita doing his sell job, telling the umpire, no, he didn't go. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander Norimoto ready to go again. He gets the sign from his catcher Oda, and he rocks into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a split-finger pitch swung on, and Yanagita has lost the bat. And that is going to be strike 3. I guess he didn't foul tip it. He's walking back to the dugout. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. Our friend CV says, how is today's game? It's been a great game. It is a 1-1 ball game as the 6th inning, the top of the 6th has been completed. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th. Your score is the Eagles 1 and the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with all the action after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want to baseball instruction? See Coach Fred. You want to learn about golf? Do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the sixth inning. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat here for the Golden Eagles. It'll be Itsuki Moribayashi, Hiroki Shimouchi, and Hideo Asamura. This is going to be the toughest part of the batting order that Carter Stewart Jr. is going to have to face. Stewart Jr. tonight has been pretty solid in his work, as he is only walked one batter in his 5 innings tonight. He has thrown 74 pitches in the 5 innings. So he has been fairly economical in his work. So he faces Moribayashi, Shimouchi, and Asamura, as we said here. Moribayashi, 1 for 2 tonight. He had a triple with 2 out in the 3rd inning, but he was stranded, or left stranded, and the first pitch fastball misses outside for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Moribayashi batting from the right side here as he waits on the offering from Stewart Jr., who delivers a fastball that carves the plate in half, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander rocking into the windup. He kicks and fires a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Moribayashi jumps up in the air and does a 180. I think he was caught off guard by that one. There's the 1-2 count now here to him. Stewart working quickly, rocking into the windup, and he kicks and he fires. Breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. That was a good pitch mix because the breaking ball that was thrown for the strike and then tried to throw that as a chase pitch, but Moribayashi didn't bite. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander gets his sign from Kai, but now the batter has just stepped out to readjust himself. Ready to go back to work again is Stewart. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is line foul into the seats down the right field line. Count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This game here, playoff implications on the line. Golden Eagles need a win to chase down the Hawks here, and the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Count remains at 2-2. Hawks win, they'll gain some separation, but they're also chasing the Marines, as the Marines tonight are down, last time we looked, 2-1 to the Oryx Buffaloes. As we take a quick peek, it is still the same scoreline, as that is in the bottom of the 5th at the Kyocera Dome. Breaking ball swung on, tapped foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2-2 here to Moribayashi. Fighters and Lions locked up at 3. That's in the bottom of the 5th. This game here is ahead of everybody else as we are in the last half of the 6th. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as Stewart rocking into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Moribayashi. He goes into the books for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up Hiroki Shimouchi. It's only the 4th strikeout tonight for Stewart Jr., but he has been efficient with his pitches for the most part. That pitch, that at bat there, was an 8-pitch at bat by Moribayashi, so he'd probably get the high 5. The other one was that Takeru Okajima at bat, his last at bat, where he went to 10 pitches against Carter Stewart Jr. So those 2 guys really had given him the biggest battles of the night. In the last half inning, Stewart had gone to full counts on 3 of the 4 hitters he faced. Fastball misses, and the count is 1-0 to Shimouchi. I think Stewart necessarily liked that call. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander ready to go again. He rocks into the windup, and he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Stewart Jr. waiting on the sign, and he gets it from Kai and now delivers a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to Shimouchi. Shimouchi's a dangerous hitter, even though he's not having a great season this year. He entered the ball game hitting .217. We always talk about him last year, in the last couple of years, really being fun to watch. He's a professional hitter at the plate. He has struggled a lot this season. Fastball misses up and away. That's going to be ball 4. He's walked him on 4 straight pitches. And that's going to bring up the dangerous Hideto Asamura. And that's also going to bring the pitching coach out of the Hawks dugout as he's on a trot to the mound. Asamura 0 for 2 tonight, but he is the leader or tied for the league lead with Gregory Polanco for home runs in the Pacific League. He had that first at bat tonight. He hit that fly ball to right field, right to the warning track where Yanagita in right field had to chase it down. But Asamura, a dangerous hitter here. They have everybody out to the mound. I think it's the trainer, the pitching coach, the interpreter, everything that they can do to get to Carter Stewart. Well, that conference is over. We're ready to resume the action here. So runner at first base is Shimouchi with 1 gone. Asamura to the plate. As we said last night, the killer for the Eagles was the defense of the Buffaloes. 5 double plays rolled in that first 5 innings. And if you're a Hawk fan, you could use one right here. This would be appropriate because Asamura can be fooled at times. He can get out in front of pitches. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander Carter Stewart. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded over to third, and it's going to get past the third baseman, past the glove of the third baseman into left field. Sami Nomura couldn't come up with it. It's going to be a base hit here for Asamura. That's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring up the left fielder, Takira Okajima. So the Eagles are flapping their wings here in the last half of the 6th inning and are now threatening here to score against the Hawks. We watched that one. The first pitch breaking ball grounded in the 6 hole past the glove of the third baseman. And Asamura now aboard as well. So runners at first and second. Okajima coming to the plate. 0 for 2 in this one tonight. He has struck out and he has grounded out in his 2 trips. So Golden Eagles trying to find a way to break the deadlock here. So the right-hander Stewart leans in. He gets the sign from Takuya Kai. One would have to think this is probably going to be his last half inning. And the pitch on the way, it is a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to the right side. Fielded by the first baseman who steps on the bag. That's the only play that he's going to have. As Okajima is going to be retired. It looks like he's retired. I don't think they called that a foul ball. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's a ground out to 3. It is going to advance all the other runners. So Shimouchi is now at third. Asamura's at second. That's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. Ogo, who's 1 for 2 tonight. He scored a run back in the 2nd inning, which was the only run so far for the Golden Eagles. Yeah, that single came around on the triple by Tatsumi. So he's in a clutch situation here where he's got runners in scoring position with 2 gone. 1-1 ball game. We are in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Eagles are threatening here. So here comes the first offering from Carter Stewart, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander Aramoto ready to deliver again here to the left-handed hitting Ogo. The pitch on the way from Stewart. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. Oh, so Ogo in a good hitting count now here. Stewart looking to try to finish him off here in the inning. The Eagle fans are cheering wildly. So 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom of the 6th inning, all locked up at once. This could be a turning point ball game. As the right-hander Stewart kicks and delivers. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-1. That was an important pitch right there. Need to get that over for a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Stewart ready to go back to work as the left-handed hitting Ogo gets himself back in the batter's box, ready to face the offering here from Stewart. Stewart looks in, nods in agreement with Kai. Now he works to the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, swung on, grounded foul, just past the bag at first base. That runs the count to 2-2. Oh boy, if that ball would have been fair, that would have been trouble. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Ogo. You would have to think that's probably the best pitch he's going to see in this at bat. Everything else he's going to have to nibble is Stewart. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tatsumi licking his chops, waiting on deck, hoping to get to bat as he's been on base twice here tonight. So right-hander against the left-hander. Stewart reading again these signs from his catcher, Kai. Trying to put this hitter away here for the 3rd out as he works to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and that's going to do it here. Stewart pretty gassed up as that's his 2nd strikeout of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Golden Eagles in their half of the 6th. Well, they threatened, but they don't score. There was no runs. There was a hit. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 6 complete innings. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 1 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back for the final 3 frames in just a few. Your score is 1-1. It is a good ball game brewing here in Tohoku. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Appreciate you, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. He's just dropped another video on his Takeover Tuesday, where his brother takes over the channel and does some crazy, crazy things. Well, it is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Hawks here. It'll be Kensuke Kondo, Tetsuro Yanagamachi, and Daiju Nomura. Number 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order here. Do you face the right-hander Takahiro Norimoto, who has been excellent in his 6 innings of work? The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is quickly 1-0 to Kondo. Kondo tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips as he faces the right-hander Norimoto for the 3rd time in this one. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Kondo is an absolute hitting machine. You have to be very careful with him when he comes to the plate. He has got himself 22 homers and 79 runs driven in this year. Nobody in the Pacific League, I don't believe, is going to get to 100 RBIs. They'd have to go crazy in the last couple of weeks as that ball misses and the count goes to 2-1. I would have to say it's probably going to be, if somebody gets to 90, it would probably be in the Pacific League a year that would be a big year for them. A little interesting is nobody's going to reach it. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 3-1. Of course, Yamakawa, the first baseman who was with the Lions last year, who got himself into a lot of hot water in the offseason, as he had a assault charge on him. He hasn't played a game. He has been taken off their roster. When I was in Saitama, there is no sign of him anywhere. It's like he doesn't exist. Off of all the billboards, all the posters, the only thing he's in is the baseball cards, and I'm sure if they could go in and rip him out, they would. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 3-2. And he was a major run producer and a home run hitter last year in the Pacific League. But they don't have that this year. Here comes the 3-2 offering as the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball misses down. It's going to be ball 4. As he's lost Kondo here, it's going to be a leadoff walk. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. And for Yanagamachi tonight, he is 1 for 2. He has singled and he's driven in the only run for the Hawks. But in this situation here, you got to start wondering when these teams are going to start to nickel and dime it a bit. They got to start playing for a run. And in Japanese baseball, we got a lot of teams that are playing for 1 run. Speaking of 1 run, it's a 2-1 game still in the top of the 6th for the Buffaloes over the Marines. That game in the bottom of the 6th between the Lions and the Fighters at the Belluna Dome is now 4-4. So 4-4 in that one. Entering tonight's fray, there was only 2 players in the Pacific League that were batting over 300. Yuma Tongu of the Buffaloes was 1, and Yuki Yanagita was hitting an even 300. Of course, he has slipped below that mark now. The Hawks had 3 hitters, all in the top 5. Yanagita, Kondo, and Nakamura, Akira Nakamura, that is. As they're waiting again here, that bug is flying around, and then now they've stepped out and started to get some signs. The bug around home plate has been a hassle tonight. As far as the home runs are concerned, we said that Asamura is tied with Gregory Polanco, but Chusei Manami is right on their heels. He is 3rd, and then it is Kensuke Kondo, who is 4th in the home run tally. 24, 23, and 22 for the top 4 home run hitters. And squaring the bunt now is Yanagamachi. That's what we expected. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that comes inside. He bunts it foul. That almost hit him. So no balls and 1 strike. It was like self-defense, either bunt it or wear it. He was able to get the bat on the ball, but that ball ended up fouled off the umpire's leg. So no balls and 1 strike. Looking at the RBI department, both Kondo and Yanagita are 1-2 in RBIs. They are the big run producers. Asamura, who's with the Golden Eagles, he's 3rd. He's got 70. As does Chusei Manami of the Fighters. And then it's Gregory Polanco, who is 5th. As the pitcher steps off the mound, and they're going to cycle through the signs again. The third baseman, Kobakata, isn't just in on the grass. It's like he's shaking hands with the batter. He's that close. As the already squares to bunt, and it's popped up, and this one is going to go foul behind home plate. So now it's going to go no balls and 2 strikes to Yanagamachi, and one would have to think that they may keep the bunt on here. So he's either going to strike out or he is going to be able to execute it and get it done. Kobakata takes a couple of steps back, but if I'm him, I'm not moving anywhere. Our From Influences in the house, as we said, and we're glad you could make it in here with us tonight. From down under listening in, here comes the 0-2 pitch. I think we asked Influence where he was from specifically. I want to say he's the Gold Coast guy. Here's the 0-2 pitch. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined down the left field line. It's going to slice foul. Oh boy, if that ball would have been straightened out a little bit, that would have been big time trouble. So no balls in, 2 strikes to Yanagamachi. Waiting on deck is Daiju Nomura. One would have to think that we're getting into the time of the ball game where we might see the Hawks start opening up the bench a little bit. As we said, 3 starters not in the lineup tonight. Here comes the 0-2 offering as the right-hander Norimoto comes set. Pitch is on the way. Fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-2. So after those first two failed bunt attempts, we know exactly what is on the mind of the Hawks here. They are swinging away here in this situation. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yanagita waiting here, or Yanagamachi waggling the bat, waiting here on Norimoto. Here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and delivers a fastball. It's taken for a called third strike on the inside corner. Oh, Norimoto, that was a lot of backdoor run on that pitch. And Yanagamachi stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. And he is going to be in the book, so that's going to bring up the first baseman, Daiji Nomura. And by our count, that is strikeout number 6 in the books for Norimoto here this evening. Our friend Daniel asked the question, any thoughts on Shohei's future? I think the picture on Shohei would have been clearer probably about a month ago. Here comes the first pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside. And what I mean by that is obviously with the torn UCL, I think a lot's going to depend on what another major league franchise wants to do with him. If I'm Shohei, I'm not rushing to get the surgery, because somebody might just sign him and say, hey, we want you to come as a bat, and we want you just to swing the bat next year. And we'll rehab the elbow, and we'll see if we can make it work. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. The count goes to 1-1 on Nomura. But I don't see him in an Angel uniform next year. I don't think Artie Moreno is going to be able to re-up him. But then the question is where does he go? And as much as there's a lot of teams who would want him, there's really only probably a half dozen teams who could sign him. A team that once upon a time would be an appropriate fit would be the Mariners. They've had a lot of Japanese players come through there. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Count is 1-2 to Nomura. Our friend Daniel says Dodgers, Yankees, they're always going to be in the mix. I also think the Giants could be a team in the mix. I just don't know if Ohtani would want to go there or not. They have the money that they could probably spend, and I think Ohtani would be a guy who would be a good fit there. Also got to think of the Red Sox. Boston is another team that will spend, although I have to say that I don't know what's going on with that owner over there. It's been a little bit of a weird type situation since they've won their last World Series. There's a fastball that misses down. Counts 2-2. That money that they gave to Mookie Betts and then flipped them, or maybe flipped them and then the Dodgers gave them. Mookie Betts, that's got to be one of the better contracts in baseball as it's turning out now. You basically traded a future Hall of Famer for Alex Verdugo and bag of bones. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Is Norimoto ready to deliver again? Checks the runner at first. He works to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit up the middle past the glove of the diving shortstop, but he's able to knock it down, is Murabayashi. But they can't make a play. It's going to go in the books as a base hit. Nomura's got himself a single. Stopping at second is Kondo. That's going to put runners at first and second with 1 out, and it's going to bring up the left fielder, Shu Masuda. So living in the middle of the park here off of the pitcher has been the mantra tonight. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Daniel says, are you doing this to get some broadcasting experience in hopes you catch a break outside of this channel? Daniel, I'm watching the games every night or whenever I possibly can. And so for me to be able just to call the games is as much fun as anything else. So we've done about 85 games this year. We did, I think, was it last year? We did 156 between this and Major League Baseball. And we did it before that there. So I've got other things that are going on, but if somebody came and made an offer, I'd always have to sit and consider. But the reality is it's also practice and it's a lot of fun in doing it. So that's the main reason why we're here. So that brings up to the plate Masuda, who's 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to right and he has grounded to third in his 2 trips to the dish. As the right-hander checks the runner at second. And checks Kondo again and now delivers a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. And so, when you have YouTube and you have the YouTube channel, it becomes where it's our version of the open mic. I told this story a number of years ago. I used to know a fella who played the drums. And when he moved up to Toronto, Ontario, as he pitches a fastball that misses down and away and the count goes to 1-1, he was living in a condo and he couldn't practice in the condo. So he used to take his drums and go out on the street and practice, and people would throw him money. And he was just out there practicing, but people would toss him money as they would do it. It was just more for fun than anything else. And he ended up kind of busking as he was doing it. This is kind of our open mic, and we're having fun just doing it. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to the right side of the infield, fielded by the second baseman. They go to second for 1, and it's not going to be in time on the back side. Asamura had fielded it. He flipped it to Murray Biashi. It was a very awkward play as that ball was hit up the middle. They do get a fielder's choice out of this, as it's going to erase Nomura at second base on a 4-6 putout. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Stopping at third is Kondo. And Masuda's speed down the line is going to ensure that he is safe on that fielder's choice. That's going to put runners at the corners with 2 gone. And it's going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. And you had to keep your eye there as well at the play. That's actually what happened to it. As we get the replay, it was actually the second baseman, Asamura, who knocked the ball down, and the ball trickled toward the shortstop. I thought he had flipped it to him initially, but the ball had trickled to the shortstop, who had to reach behind to field it, and Murray Biashi stepped on the base for the 1, and then he tried to roll the back end of the double play, but it's still going to go as a fielder's choice, 4-6. And Takuya Kai comes to the plate with the runners on the corners, so we'll have to keep our eye to see what they have up their sleeve here. Masuda does not have a stolen base on the year, and Kondo is not the most fleet of foot. He's only got 1. So a first and third situation here for the Hawks is not the best offensive spot with those runners. First pitch fastball swung on, grounded to third, fielded by Kobakata. It's in the dirt, and it gets away from the first baseman. That's going to get a run in, and that's going to move the runner from first all the way around to third. Oh, Kobakata, who's had an outstanding game at third base here tonight. He fires that one into the dirt, and it gets away from the first baseman, Suzuki. It's going to be E5 charged to Kobakata. The run comes in. Kondo will score. It's going to bring Masuda all the way around over to third. That puts runners at the corners. Similar situation. And the Hawks have now taken a 2-1 lead on the gaff by the third baseman, who has been generally pretty reliable here tonight. And that is going to bring up Bisami Nomura to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 gone. That was a tough play for Suzuki. He wouldn't have been able to get into that one. And it looks to me there that there may have been some obstructions. So we're going to see if they're going to put the batter runner, Takuya Kai, over to second, and they have. As that ball was in the dirt, Suzuki went up to get it, and Kai had run into him, and they had called obstruction. So runners at second and third here. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Tatsumi is there. He makes the catch, and that's going to be out number 3. But the Hawks get a run in the inning. Oh, boy. They got one important run on the benefit of 1 hit. There was an error by Kobakata, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2 and the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat for Tohoku here in the last half of the seventh. That means Tatsumi, Suzuki, and Oda to come to bat. And what I find to be very interesting here is, as we were talking about, is our friend Evolution Man the Great says he doesn't think that there's going to be any runs scored from this point onward in the ball game. I was kind of curious to see if Carter Stewart Jr. was going to be coming back out for the seventh. They had panned the dugout a couple of times, and I wasn't quite sure. But he is not coming back out, as they are going to go to the bullpen now, are the Hawks. It is going to be the right-hander, and this is going to be number 14, Matayoshi, coming into the game. So Katsuki Matayoshi coming on in relief. He's making his 26th appearance of the year. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss. He has worked 92 innings, check that. He's worked 22 and a third innings. He's faced 92 batters. He's allowed 18 hits. He's walked 7 and struck out 13, and he's got an ERA of 1.61. So as our friend here has pointed out, runs are going to be at a premium now because the Hawks bullpen is pretty steady. And if they use Osuna in the 9th, they've got Matayoshi here. I'll have to take a peek to see if it probably would be Fuji, I would think, in the 8th, because I don't think Levon Minello's on the game sheet. I'll have to do a double check on that. So it'll be Tatsumi coming to the plate. He has walked and tripled in the game. He's also driven in a run. So Katsuki Matayoshi on in relief of Carter Stewart Jr., who's had a great start here tonight for the Fukuoka Ball Club. So Matayoshi ready to deliver as he gets the sign from his catcher, Kai. He rocks into the windup. And he delivers a fastball that misses down and away. And the count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes. Tatsumi looking to get something started here. This is the part of the order that has done the damage, as we said, with the triple by Tatsumi as he takes a breaking ball outside. The count is 2-0. They need to find a way to get a base runner on, and then they're going to have to start doing the nickel and diming. As I said, the bunts and the little stuff here to get people over. So 2 balls and no strikes as the right-hander rocks into the windup. And he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Tatsumi. Hawks got that run on the air by Kobakata in the top half of the inning that has given them the 2-1 advantage in this one. As the right-hander rocks into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Left-handed hitting, Ryosuke Tatsumi at the plate here, ready for the offering as the right-hander ready to go again. Rocking into the windup is Matayoshi, and he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the Golden Eagles have life. They got themselves a runner on here, as that's the second walk tonight that Tatsumi has earned. He's been aboard now 3 times. And Daichi Suzuki is now coming to the plate, and one would have to think, as the infield has come in to talk it over here, you got to be thinking it is going to be a bunt time here out of Daichi. He was in a similar situation like this before back in the 5th inning, and he hit a deep fly ball to right field. But I would have to think that this is the opportunities. They got to get the bunt down, and they've got to be able to try to get the runner into scoring position. So Suzuki at the plate, and if everything goes accordingly, we'll see them throw over to first base. That's usually what they do here, as most teams do. And yep, Suzuki's already squaring the bunt. He is showing the cards early. So here comes the offering, and they do throw over to first base, and getting back easily is the base runner, Tatsumi. So Suzuki trying to get the job done here. And whatever scoring is going to happen here is going to be at a premium here the rest of the way, if there is going to be scoring. So as our friend Evolution Man the Great says, he doesn't think there's going to be any scoring left. Well, got to tell you, you're probably not necessarily wrong. It looks like we may have a pinch hitter on deck as well. as the right-hander Matayoshi works to the set. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that comes inside. It's bunted down the first baseline. They're going to let it roll. They have trouble with it. Finally picking it up is Nomura, and he flips it over to the second baseman covering. Oh, it was a self-defense bunt because that ball was inside, and it looked like it was almost going to hit Suzuki. That's going to go as a sacrifice, 3-4 on the putout. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It advances Tatsumi into scoring position. He had a hard time picking it up to the first baseman. That's the second time tonight. They've made it entertaining over there at first base, but they do make the play. We're going to do a double check here, but I think we're going to have a pinch hitter coming up for the catcher, Hikaru Oda. And it is going to be a pinch hitter. It's going to be Yasuda coming in. So they're going to be trading catchers here in this situation. This is number 55. This is Yuma Yasuda striding to the plate. So he is going to be taking over behind the plate in this one. So his first at bat here, he is a left-handed stick. The first pitch is a fastball that comes in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. That pitch there was nasty. It was like a two-seam fastball that looked like it was going to be inside, and it darted across the plate. So no balls and 1 strike here to Yuma Yasuda. Base hit here. There's a chance to score that runner from third. Outfield is in shallow. They got to be able to throw that runner out at the plate. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. The cheerleaders are keeping the crowd alive. We were talking a little bit earlier in the game. We were talking about the food. One of the things that is unbelievable at the game is the beer girls. I don't think I had 1 beer at any of the games. I did have a couple of, I had in Saitama, I had a couple of spritzers because it was so hot and humid there. I didn't feel like a beer. If I had a beer, I thought I was going to toss my cookies. I wanted something a little bit light and a little bit with fizz in it. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. But what I was talking about is the beer girls. They are in droves, and they're running, literally running up the stairs to serve the patrons. And when you think of the North Americans drinking their beer, both the Canadians and the Americans, the Japanese are right there with them. Boy, they can put back some beers. I didn't expect that. But they can really push them back, the Asahis and all the other stuff that they serve at the games. So here comes the 2-1 offering as the right-hander works to the set. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and in. Count now goes to 3-1. It's Hirota Kobakata who waits his turn on deck. It'll be the top of the order to follow Yuma Yasuda here. So not the inning that Matayoshi was looking for, as he's got himself in a little bit of a problem here. And of course, Kobakata, who I always like to say has got some excellent bat control. He can really has good bat-to-ball skills. He can be very dangerous here late in the game, be able to slap a ball and get it into play. So here comes the 3-1 offering as the right-hander works to the set. Matayoshi checks the runner, now delivers. Fastball, swung on, grounded over to the right side. Fielded by the first baseman, Nomura. Flips it to the pitcher covering. That's going to advance the runner over to third base. So Tatsumi is over at third on the ground out 3-1 for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the top of the order in Hirota Kobakata. Well, for Kobakata tonight, we were praising him early on. He was very strong defensively, but unfortunately for him, he made the error at the most unopportune time in that last half inning that ended up allowing the Hawks to take a 2-1 lead. Kobakata 0 for 3 tonight at the plate, has struck out twice and has popped to short. So he's got to be looking for a little bit of redemption here. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Matayoshi. Eagles trying to claw their way back into this game. Hawks right-hander leans in, gets the side from Takuya Kai. Shakes him off. And now he gets something that he likes. He works to the set position. And here comes the first pitch. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. It is the shortstop, Murray Biashi, who waits his turn on deck. As we said, it's going to be a tough sled here for the Golden Eagles. They're running right into the teeth of the strength of the ball club. You got to think Osuna's going the 9th. The question is, who's going to go the 8th? There's no Fuji on the game sheet tonight, so that's a question mark. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted foul over on the first base side into the dugout, and that's going to run the count to 1-1. And no Levon Manello. He's been out for quite a while, so no Manello, no Fuji. So curious to see who their 8th inning pitcher is probably going to be. Is it going to be Samori? Do they turn to Atsu? I'm not sure. Or maybe they go to Matsumoto. That could be another option. So here comes the 1-1 pitch as the left-handed hitting Kobakata waiting here on the right-hander. Works to the set. And now Matayoshi ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. When you figure over the last couple of years, it's kind of been automatic. Levon Manello, they had Mori in the bullpen, although they've moved Mori into a starting role. And then you've also got Roberto Osuna this year. So you get into the back end of the Hawk bullpen, they can roll some guys out there that it gets to be very tough very quick. You don't have to bite your nails usually with the Fukuoka bullpen, but you are right now. As there's a runner at third and 2 out. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Kobakata. The right-hander delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Hawks clinging to a 1-run lead as it's 2-1 here in the last half of the 7th inning. Murray Biashi waiting on deck. 3 balls and 1 strike here to Kobakata. And the right-hander Murray Biashi or Matayoshi ready to go again here. As we said, Murray Biashi waiting on deck, and now he steps off the backside of the rubber, and they're going to cycle through the signs again. We'll be back on the airwaves again, where we plan to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night for the same 2 teams. Takuya Kai has now asked for time as he's going to go out and visit the right-handers. They got to get on the same page. As we will look to do the second game of this series before each of these teams move on. So hopefully you guys can join us again tomorrow night for more NPB action. And once this game is over, tonight we'll give you the full roundup of what's going on around Major League Baseball, and around the NPB, I should say, and we may peek in at some Major League Baseball stuff as well. But only games in the Pacific League, so it won't be the biggest roundup as we had. Last night, we actually gave bonus coverage as we called the Dragons and the Carp. But we only gave a little bit of it as the Carp had scored in the top of the 9th, and thank goodness, because Dragons had come back and the game ended up going, I think, 11 innings. So here comes the 3-1 pitch as the right-hander works to the set position. Matayoshi ready to deliver. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Kobakata. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kobakata did not swing the bat at that. That was a pretty good pitch. Knee-high fastball right down the middle. So 3-2 to the Golden Eagles third baseman. This is where the battle comes in because Kobakata can flick his wrists and he can really fight off the pitcher here. As the right-hander works to the set position. Here comes the 3-2. Payoff pitch on the way. Fastball misses outside, and Kobakata has earned himself a walk. He's got a base on balls. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Atsuki Murray Biashi. It's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Hawks dugout. As time has been called here, he's on a trot to the mound. Murray Biashi tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a triple in his 3 trips. So they're going to come on out and talk a little bit of strategy here. But more importantly, it's a first and third situation. So how they're going to handle this. Kobakata can run really well. He's got 30 stolen bases on the year. And so they're got to be talking about how they're going to handle this. Are they just going to let him walk into second base? And that might be the case here, because no sense in fooling around with a throw and letting that runner come home. The runner at third base is Tatsumi. He also runs well. So runners at first and third. Hawks here find themselves in a jam. So our friend Evolution Man the Great is still listening. Well, we have a situation here that this score could change. One thing I was thinking about earlier is if there's going to be an opportunity for a tie game, probably helps the team like the Hawks. Doesn't help the Eagles. They've got to win games and be able to catch back up. So here comes the offering to the right-handed hitting Tsuki Muribayashi. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses down for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-handed hitting Muribayashi waits here on the offering from the right-hander Matayoshi. Matayoshi gets his sign from the catcher, and he works into the set position. And here comes the pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field, racing back onto the warning track, and this ball is going to be off the wall. That's going to score 1 run. Here comes the throw back in, the throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time. And diving in safely is Kobakata, who scores all the way from first on the ball hit by Muribayashi. Oh, my goodness. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagle crowd is in a frenzy, as the Hawks here have given up 2 runs in the 7th inning, and the Golden Eagles have retaken the lead. It is now a 3-2 ball game here. As Kobakata came all the way around, that ball was absolutely smoked into the pole gap, short hopped the wall. Nice play there by the left fielder Masuda to be able to get it in, but the speed of Kobakata is able to score all the way from first base. And now the score line here is 3-2 for Tohoku in the 7th inning. But don't go away yet, because the Tohoku bullpen has had a little bit of stuff, and that looks like it is going to be the end of the night for Matayoshi. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change, so hang tight, everybody. This game is just about to get interesting. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here.
Thank you, Freddie. And hey, guys, let's open up a 5-card pack of 2023 Topps Baseball. And remember, during this timeout, you can also go visit some other channels. Oh, look, Jeter Downs. Bleh. Diamond Princess, she's great. Oh, there's a cubby. Screw that. Hey, go check out the one and only Bud Stoney. Oh, here's one for another Hollis build. And you can stay anywhere you want to when you're around Freddie and the Seattle area. That's good for Mr. Infuego. And you know what? Why don't we bring out one of the Oakland A's for a league of her own? Bingo! Thank you, Freddie. Pitchers look like they're ready. Let's play ball.
Appreciate you there, Steve. We do have a pitching change as the Hawks are going to their bullpen. It is going to be the left-hander coming into the game, and that is going to be number 56. That's Fumimaru Taru, as he is going to take over here. So obviously a different situation when they don't have the lead. Taru on the year making his 44th appearance. He's got 2 wins and 1 loss. He's worked 32 1/3 innings. He's allowed 30 hits. He has walked 10 and struck out 28. Got an ERA of 2.48. So the third pitcher used here tonight by Fukuoka. So Haru on in relief, as he is going to be pitcher number 3. So unfortunately, the start by Carter Stewart gone to waste. So Taru here on in relief. So he is going to be facing Hiroki Shimouchi, who comes to bat here. Shimouchi in tonight's ball game is officially 0 for 2. He also has drawn a walk. So he bats here with 2 gone. And the runner, Moribayashi, at second base. So he steps into the batter's box ready to get the first offering from the lefty. Be curious to see if this would be the only batter that Taro would face, as it's a lefty-lefty matchup, with Hideto Asamura waiting on deck as the lefty is now coming into the set position. They're jockeying with the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Shimouchi. So the normally reliable Fukuoka bullpen has seen the wheels come off here. So 1 ball and no strikes. The crowd is in a frenzy, that was for sure, on that hit by Moribayashi that drove in the pair. So 1 ball and no strikes to Shimouchi. They're hunting for another run. Here comes the pitch. As the lefty kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Our friend Johnny Thunder, who was in the stream earlier on, asked me what I thought the score was going to be tonight. I said either 4-2 or 5-3. And I did feel that the Golden Eagles were going to win this game tonight, although that was right at the beginning of the stream. If you don't believe me, you can go back and play the replay. The biggest thing for me is the fact that both of these teams had to travel to get here. The distance traveled by the Hawks was a lot less because they were already up in the Hokkaido region. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. If the ball stays fair, it's going to be trouble, but it looks like it is going to hook foul. That's going to run the count to 1-2 on Shimouchi. So the score line in this one here, 3-2. So pretty much close to what I've called for. If the Hawks are able to tack on another run and everything freezes from there, then you've got your score line. But I would say tomorrow night, expect fireworks. I think tomorrow night there's going to be a lot of offense in that game. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the left-hander leans in and he gets the sign from Kai, and now he works to the set position. Taru in no hurry to deliver a pitch. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on and line foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. Friend Evolution to Man said earlier on about couldn't really complain. It was a great hit. Yeah, the ball that was struck by Moribayashi, I mean, he drove that ball over the head of the outfielder into the pole gap. It was a good swing. Wasn't the best of pitches. Missed the location. And, of course, the pitcher at the time, Amadiyoshi, really struggling to not just to throw strikes, but to locate his pitches. Here comes the 1-2 pitch as the lefty holds to the set. Now he delivers. It's a fastball that misses down. It squirts up, and here comes the throw to third and making it safely. A nice piece of base running there by Moribayashi. That's going to be a wild pitch. It was blocked by Kai. It went off of Kai, and it shot straight up into the air. Kai didn't even get it. It was the pitcher who came off the mound to field it. And then he fired to third base, but not in time to get Moribayashi. Kai rubbing his shoulder because it looked like it caught him in the upper left or by the left collarbone. We'll get the replay of that again. It came off his shoulder, his non-throwing shoulder. The ball shot straight up into the air, but over onto the third base side. By the time the pitcher got it and threw it over to third, the runner was sliding in safely. Now, it had to be a tag play. There was no tag applied at third base. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And the pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses outside. It goes now to 3 balls and 2 strikes on Shimouchi. It wasn't a forced play. If it was a forced play, there would have been an out, but tag play, just the way the third baseman had caught the ball, he lost his balance. Amir comes in and says he's got the under at 5.5 for the total. Am I cooked? Well, if you asked me earlier part of the game, I would have said you are cooked for sure. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. That is going to be ball 4. Shimouchi's going to be aboard with a walk. That's the second time tonight he has walked. That's going to bring up the second baseman, Hideto Asamura. So as I said, I predicted 4-2 or 5-3 as the final score in this one. So if you took 5.5, in my opinion, you can rip up the ticket. But not until the numbers actually change over. So runners are at the corners. This brings up Hideto Asamura to the plate, the most dangerous hitter, arguably, in the Eagles lineup. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He has flown to right. He has lined to the shortstop, and he has singled. But this will be the first at bat here against the lefty tonight in Tara. So Asamura here looking to add to his RBI total on the season, the Pacific League home run leader. This game here has gone sideways for the Hawks in this half of the 7th inning. 2 runs they've given up, and the Eagles are looking for more. Here comes the first offering to Asamura. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back onto the warning track and making the grab against the fence is the left fielder Masuda, and that is going to do it. Oh boy, he just missed that one by a little bit, did Asamura, but he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Eagles have cashed 2 in their half. They got 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of only 1 hit. So 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is the Eagles 3 and the Hawks 2. Manager Ishii is out. That usually means we're going to see a change. We'll be right back here in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being with us here. We'll be right back after this. We do have a pitching change. We'll be back with that for you in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in. 3-2 Eagles over the Hawks as we move to the top of the 8th. Welcome back, everybody. It looks like we have a couple of changes as well defensively. By the looks of it, it could be Hiroto Kobakata's night could be over. But we are looking here to get the pitching change. It is going to be a right-hander, and it is going to be Shota Watanabe, who is coming into the ballgame. It is going to be his 8th inning here tonight. The rookie right-hander has a 7-2 record on the year with 1 save. This is going to be his 42nd appearance of the year. He has worked 39 1/3 innings. He's allowed 19 hits. He's walked 14 and struck out 33, and he's got an earned run average of 137. So the Golden Eagles need 6 outs here to close off the Hawks. So the start by Norimoto, as he had gone 7 strong innings, keeping the Hawks in check for only the 2 runs. So Shota Watanabe on in relief, as he is going to be on here for the 8th inning of work for the Golden Eagles. Well, coming up for the Hawks, it'll be the top of the order. It'll be Yukio Shudo, then Hikaru Kawase, and Yuki Yanagita. The 1, 2, 3 hitters in the order. And the first pitch on the way to Shudo is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yukio Shudo. The right-hander ready to go back to work again as he works and delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball's line foul down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Shudo. Shudo tonight is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. That was against the starter Norimoto. Finds himself in the hole here at 0-2. As we said at the top of the stream, it's a bit of a interesting lineup the Hawks rolled out tonight. 3 regulars not really in the lineup tonight. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to second. Shudo stumbles out of the box. Fielded by Asamura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Shudo for the first out of the inning. It goes in the books as a ground out, 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Hikaru Kawase. Can I just take a peek to see what the other changes were? As we said, out of the ball game is Kobakata. It looks like it is going to be Yamazaki who is in at third base, so he will take over there defensively. Yasuda, who came in to pinch hit, he stays in to catch. And the first offering on the way to the left-handed hitting Kawase is a fastball that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. Kawase tonight is 1 for 3. He singled and scored a run in the 4th. He's also struck out looking and grounded to the pitcher in his 2 trips. The single that he had was a drag bunt down the first base line that broke up the no-hitter in the 4th inning. As that fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. I say broke up the no-hitter. I should say it was the first hit of the ball game. The first 10 hitters were retired of the ball game in a row by Norimoto. Then Kawase was able to bunt himself on for the first base runner for Fukuoka. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Kawase. It'll be Yuki Yanagita who waits his turn on deck. Hawks trailing the Eagles 3-2 here in the top of the 8th inning as the batter is called time. And again, we're back to this bug that's flying around again around the home plate area. As we said earlier, it was as big as my fist. It was flying around earlier on. This one here, we don't see quite the same. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the right-hander Watanabe ready to deliver. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field for a base hit. Kawase is aboard with a 1-out single. And the Hawks have some life as that's going to bring up Yuki Yanagita to the plate. Well, for Yanagita, he's had a tough night at the office tonight so far. He is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice, and he has flown out to left field. Our friend Influence says he needs a Hawks miracle. Yeah, the Hawks here, but certainly if there's one piece of solace, it's the Golden Eagles relief pitching that you have to, at least the Golden Eagles fans would be worried about. Generally speaking, the Hawks back end of the bullpen is pretty steady, although we went through their list and said they got a couple of guys on the game sheet we'd normally see. First pitch breaking ball misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Yuki Yanagita. Yanagita, as we said, 0 for 3 tonight, has seen his average dip down below the 300 mark as he waits here on the 1-0 offering from Watanabe. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down. Count now goes to 2-0. When you start thinking about the pitchers, this is where you start to look at guys. Who has the October stuff? Who is that going to be that guy at the back end of the bullpen that's nervous and is worried and whatever else. Well, we're about to find out here what the Golden Eagles have. There was no Chi-Hao Sung, at least in this inning here, available. He pitched a couple of nights back-to-back in a row against the Buffaloes. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 3-0. Amir says his 5.5 is looking good. Final should be 3-2. Well, it's 3 balls and no strikes here to Yanagita. The runner at first is Kawase. There's one gone here in the 8th inning. We'll see what happens here. If they can get another runner aboard here, I don't know, Amir, I think I'd be biting my fingernails. So here comes the 3-0 offering. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. I don't think anything is automatic here. On top of that, it'd be interesting to see what the Hawks can do, or the Eagles can do with their bottom half of the inning. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. The right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's going to be ball 4. Yanagita's going to give himself a walk. It's going to advance Kawase to second, and that's going to bring up the always dangerous Kazuki Kondo. So we're in the toughest part of the batting order right now here for the Hawks. And that's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound on a full-out trot, as they're going to have a conference here with runners at first and second and 1 gone. Kondo coming to the plate, who is 1 for 2 tonight. He's also walked and scored a run. As I said, one thing I find very interesting and somewhat humorous is they bring out a bottle of water for the pitcher. You don't see that in Major League Baseball, but again, you're not always getting the sublime heat like you do in Japan. So runners at first and second here with 1 gone. As Kondo steps to the dish. Another turning point in this one here. They've got to be able to find ways to get the batters out. And Kondo here, as we said, is one of the more dangerous hitters in the Hawk lineup. He's waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Watanabe, who checks the runner over at second base. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Kondo. So we're getting into good hitters counts here. I would say that the Golden Eagles got to start thinking about some action in their bullpen. Watanabe here, since he's entered the ball game, has at least on my account, as I take a quick look here, he's thrown 13 pitches by my account, and he's thrown 6 of them for balls. So he's working at the 50% line. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field for a base hit. Here comes Tatsumi. He picks it up. He fires it back in, and the runners are going to stop. It's going to load the bases. That's going to be a single here for Kondo. They had to freeze on the line drive because the shortstop, Murray Biashi, it was just a little bit out of his reach, but they had to hold themselves in that spot. They didn't want to line themselves into a double play. Bases are now full of Hawks. Kondo, the runner at first. Yanagita at second. Kawase, the runner at third. And that's going to bring up the center fielder, or slated to bring up the center fielder, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Bases full, 1 out. Hawks are looking to try to cash at least 1 in here to tie the game, or 2 to take the lead. So don't go away yet, anybody. This is coming into crunch time, and we are here at it. They've got the corners are in. The middles are halfway. They're going to try to turn 2 up the middle. Yanagamachi can run a little bit. He's got 31 RBIs on the season, as he had driven in the first run of the ball game here for the Hawks tonight. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yanagamachi, 1 for 3, the single and an RBI. He's also struck out twice, once looking and once swinging. So our friend Amir, who's in here, You should be sweating bullets now. And our friend Ray says he needs the 3-2 final. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Tap back to the pitcher. They go to the plate for one, and that's all they're going to get. Nice play there by the pitcher, Watanabe, to come off the mound. He threw the ball to the catcher, Yasuda. That is going to be a fielder's choice. Yanagamachi is going to be safe at first. It erases Kawase at home. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That goes in the books as a 1-2 putout on that fielder's choice. Advancing over to third is Yanagita. Kondo goes to second. That is going to be slated to bring up the first baseman, Daiji Nomura, but let's keep our eyes peeled here to see if we're going to get ourselves a pinch hitter. I would expect it nonetheless in this situation. And if they don't bring somebody off the bench, my question would be why? So it looks like here we've got ourselves, there's still Nomura at the plate here. Here's the first pitch, and it's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Nomura tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's grounded to short and grounded back to the pitcher in his other 2 times he's come to the plate. As he bats here in the 8th inning, bases loaded, 2 gone. As the right-hander Watanabe kicks and delivers a breaking ball swung on, it's popped foul. It's going to reach the seats down the first base line. That's going to run the count to 1 ball and 1 strike on Nomura. If some of our gamblers aren't nervous yet, they should be. So our friend Ray says, let's go Golden Eagles. Appreciate you folks for jumping in here tonight, especially coming in late. You've walked into a great ball game here. 8th inning, bases loaded, full of Hawks. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Nomura. Watanabe works to the set. Here comes the pitch. Nope. Instead, he steps off the backside of the rubber, and all the runners are going to have to retreat to their base. As a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves for the same 2 teams tomorrow night. It'll be the second and final game of the series. So here we go. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Nomura. Moving into the on-deck circle is Alfredo de Spagna. I think they should have moved him into the on-deck circle 1 batter earlier, but we'll wait and see what happens here. Bases full of Hawks, 1 ball and 2 strikes here on the hitter Nomura. As we said, runner at third is Yanagita. At second, it's Kondo. At first, it's Yanagamachi. 2 gone here in the 8th. Watanabe looking to try to get out of this jam. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Nomura goes down on strikes for out number 3. Well, the Hawks, they threaten, but they don't score. There were no runs in the inning. There were 2 hits. There was no errors and 3 runners left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action after this from our friend Matt Hollis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just waiting on the confirmation of a pitching change for the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. It looks like they're going to be going to a right-hander. We'll have to get you that number here in just a few. So hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with all the action. It is a 3-2 lead for the Eagles over the Hawks. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the rookie right-hander Ryosuke Otsu who is coming into the ball game, as he is going to be the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. He's making his 42nd appearance of the year. He's got 2 wins and no losses. Worked 36 2/3 innings. He's allowed 31 hits. He has walked 7, struck out 20, and he's got an ERA of 2.45. And he is going to be slated to face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in the order. It'll be Takara Okajima, Yuya Ogo, and Ryosuke Tatsumi. Face him here in the 8th inning. For Okajima, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded out twice and struck out. As the first pitch is delivered, it's a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Otsu ready to go back to work again. They just really have a abundance of riches usually in their bullpen, do the Hawks. So a little bit of a strange one, as we said that Matayoshi was not able to get the job done tonight, as that breaking ball looked like it was a strike. They flashed up 2 balls on the scoreboard, so we'll see what that one is. Now they've changed it. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Home plate umpire went up with the right hand a little bit late there, so maybe causing some confusion for the people on the scoring clock. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Takara Okajima. So the Eagles are going to have to play some defense in their half of the 9th inning, and you got to think it's going to be Yuki Matsui. And for those of you who don't know, Matsui is always a bit of a challenge to watch. He really has to work to earn his saves. Fastball swung on this ball's line, foul down the left field line. The count is 1-2. I say that because there's talk about him. He wants to come to Major League Baseball next year. He's going to get either posted or he's a free agent. I can't remember which classification he falls into. And if he does come to Major League Baseball, I don't see him as a closer. I see him maybe more as a 7th or 8th inning arm. The question will be is, will Major League Baseball, what will they pay him to be able to come to perform? As there's a pitch that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. But I don't think he's got the stuff to be a big league closer, or at least an October closer, but maybe somebody as a situational lefty, or even as a 7th or 8th inning arm, maybe an 8th inning arm in Major League Ball. He'll be on full display here in just a bit, as we would expect he is going to be coming in to try to close the 9th inning off. So here comes the 2-2 offering as Otsu kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. And now Okajima's battled all the way back to run the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting Okajima. Ogo and Tatsumi to follow here. Otsu working to the belt. And here comes the pitch. As he kicks and fires, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. Moving over underneath it and making the catch is Shumasuda. Okajima retired for the first out of the inning. He's gone, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Yuya Ogo. Our friend Johnny Thunder, who was in the stream earlier on, was asking my score, and as I said at the beginning of the game, we said either a 4-2 or 5-3 ball game. Well, it'll have to be the Eagles here to punch out a run if that is going to come to fruition. the 4-2 score line, that is. Well, this is going to bring Ogo to the plate. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's also scored a run. He scored the first run of the ball game for the Golden Eagles. And he pitches a breaking ball swung on. This ball is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back underneath it is the shortstop Kawase, and he makes the catch. That's going to retire Ogo. So 2 up and 2 gone here in the 8th inning. That's going to leave it all up to the center fielder, Ryosuke Tatsumi. Well, for Tatsumi tonight, he has 1 for 1. He tripled and drove in a run in the 2nd inning. He has walked his other 2 times and scored a run. So he had the tying run in the 7th when it was that double by Murray Biashi that brought home 2 runs. So he bats here with nobody on and 2 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Coming in on it and making the catch is Yanagamachi. That is going to do it here for out number 3. We're going to be going to the 9th inning here in just a couple of moments. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard for the Golden Eagles as they go quietly in their half of the 8th. Coming to bat for the Hawks, it'll be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Manager Ishii already out, letting the umpire know the pitching change is going to happen. We'll be back here in just a few. You got to think Yuki Matsui is coming out of that bullpen. We'll be right back in just a bit.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred with Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. As projected, it is going to be Yuki Matsui who is coming on to try to close it out here for the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles. The left-hander is going to be taking over on in relief. He is going to be making his 52nd appearance of the year. He's got 1 win and 3 losses. He has 35 saves on the docket. He has worked 49 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 35 hits. He has walked 10 and struck out 66, and he's got an ERA of 1.64. As I said before, one of the things I would have to say about him is that he is what I would say not the most efficient with his pitches. He really has to work hard to try to retire batters here. He is going to get some defensive help, as it is going to be Kazuki Tanaka, who's going to take over in left field. So Tanaka on for defensive purposes, as Matsui is ready to go to work here. And he is going to be facing the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the order. It is going to be Shuma Suda, as the left-hander Matsui kicks and delivers. The first pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined right to the 3rd baseman, Yamazaki. Oh, ball was hit right on the screws, but Yamazaki there for out number 1. As Masuda is in the books, and that is going to bring up the catcher, Takuya Kai. As we said, we'll keep our eyes for pinch hitters, especially here in the bottom part of the order, as Kai is slated to come to hit. Originally, Shuma Suda there would have been pinch hit for in that last half inning, but here it is here. It is going to be Alfredo Despania coming to the plate. He is in scoring position as soon as he steps into the batter's box. The veteran right-handed hitter, though, no homers, no RBIs this year. He's only 3 for 38. since being re-signed out of the Mexican League. He has had some great years with the Hawks, but we said at the earlier part of the stream that import players have not really done their part this year for Fukuoka. Breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Although Carter Stewart Jr. tonight would say otherwise because his pitching performance should have got him a win. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the lefty Matsui holds set. He kicks and he delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Ray is pumping his fist for the Eagles. And our friend Amir says the under 5.5. He says never a doubt. Yeah, not so sure about that one. Especially with the bases loaded and 1 out in that last half inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball that misses inside. It's now 2-1. And so if you win tonight, well, we'll tip our hat to you. And probably tip a glass of wine to you somewhere. So 2 balls and 1 strike. It is here to the pinch hitter Alfredo Despania. Here comes the pitch. As Matsui holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and Despania wanted to try to tie the game up with 1 swing of the bat. So he is now down to his last strike as it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sami Nomura is slated to be the next hitter here. But again, I would think that you got to keep your eyes peeled for a pinch hitter potentially here in this situation. So here comes the offering from the lefty Matsui as he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 3-2. As a reminder, we will bring you all of the recap of this one when we are done, but as well, we are going to give you the out-of-town scores. So stick around as there is a final outside of this ball game in the Pacific League. We'll give you the rundown as it becomes available. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as Matsui holds set. And now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball, swung on and missed. And Despania goes in the books for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away here in the 9th inning. That's going to leave it all up to Sami Nomura, but we'll keep our eyes peeled to see if they are going to be going to the bench again. So Nomura, as we said, slated to come to bat. We're waiting on confirmation if it is going to be him here to hit against Matsui with 2 gone. Golden Eagles looking for a win and looking to close the gap here. It is going to be Nomura who stands in here against Matsui. The first pitch on the way. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Hawks are down to their final out. And the Eagles closing the gap here as they are looking to try to overtake Fukuoka for a playoff spot. Here comes the 0-1 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on it. Has popped up into center field. Moving over underneath it is Tatsumi. He's there and he makes the catch. And that is going to do it as this ball game is over, as Nomura has popped out to end the inning. So no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your final score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles 3 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being with us. We'll wrap this one up, call it a night, and don't forget, if you're new, don't forget to hit the bookmark the channel. Come on back and see us again tomorrow night. We'll be doing it all over again with these 2 ball clubs. We'll be right back in just a few.
Good evening, sports fans. I hope you all have been enjoying the game. This is just another message from another Hollis build. I hope that your team is in the lead, but if not, remember, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But you know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on my team, but I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around. I hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and if it remains the same, remember, that's life. You want your fill? Go check another Hollis build on YouTube. Last Raps Baseball. Let's get back to the game. Let's go! You know that's life. You know it. One love and peace.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up here for you. I'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we'll put a bow on it and call it a night. So the ball game here between the Hawks and the Eagles, it was the Eagles who jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the second inning. It happened really quickly with 2 out. It was Yuya Ogo who singled, and then up stepped Ryosuke Tatsumi with 2 gone, and he had a triple into the left center field gap. Scored Ogo all the way from first base, and that gave the Eagles a 1-0 lead. Well, the Hawks came back in their half of the fourth inning and tied it up, as it was with 1 gone. Hikaru Kowashi bunted for a base hit, and then with 2 out, Kensuke Kondo singled, and then Tetsuro Yanagamachi singled home Kawase to bring home the first run of the game for the Hawks to even the score at 1 apiece. In the top half of the 7th inning, that's where the Hawks took the lead, a leadoff walk to Kondo. After Yanagamachi struck out, it was Nomura who singled, and that put runners at first and second. Shumasuda then bounced into a fielder's choice. That put runners to the corners. And then up stepped Takuya Kai, and he had a ground ball to the third baseman to Hiroto Kobakata, who threw the ball in the dirt to first. That allowed the runner Kondo to score the second run of the ball game for the Hawks. And that is how it was all. They gave them to take the lead at 2-1. We went to the bottom of the 7th inning, and then the Eagles got the lead back, and they never let it go from there. A leadoff walk to Tatsumi. He was sacrificed to second by Daichi Suzuki. Yuma Yosuda then grounded out to first to move Tatsumi to third. Then it was a walk to Hiroto Kobakata, and up stepped Itsuki Muribayashi, and he had a double into the left center field gap that scored Tatsumi and brought Kobakata all the way around to score from first base. And that gave the lead to the Eagles 3-2, and they never relinquished it from there. So again, your final score was the Eagles 3 and the Hawks 2. And that is going to make the standings all the more tighter in the Pacific League, as with the victory tonight, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are now 1.5 games back of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the race for that final playoff position. The Hawks, unfortunately, with the loss tonight, were unable to gain ground on the Marines, as the Marines were playing tonight against the Oryx Buffaloes. As we check in on that ball game, the Marines had scored a run in the top of the 9th inning on a solo shot from the hitter Yasuda. And so what ended up happening there is that looks like it is now a final. The final score there is 3-2. The same score as this one, as the Buffaloes have knocked off the Marines. And in the Basement Bowl, the game between the Lions and the Fighters, the Saitama Sibu Lions knocked off Hokkaido 7-4 in that one. That game is in the books there. All right, everybody. Well, once again, we appreciate you guys for listening in with us here tonight. We're going to be back on the airwaves again tomorrow with these same 2 ball clubs. Hopefully you guys can make it in with us again. We appreciate you guys having you guys here, whether you listen live or on delay. We'll welcome you back into the stream again tomorrow night for more action with the playoff positioning and playoffs on the line for both of these 2 ball clubs. Have a great night, everybody. We will see you again tomorrow once again on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Have a great night.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Each smile comes back again. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you until we meet again.